Hey, welcome to Gone Rolling, where we all use a degree to play some D&D. Enjoy shenanigans. But first, Ryan's not here today, but hey.
Neither's Tommy.
Neither's Tommy.
Well, neither's Tommy. They'll be back, okay? But
yeah,
hey.
they're out of town.
Well,
they're out of town.
Attorney and Chuck are still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the intro.
It was like a DVD situation. It would be like episode 31, 32.
Yeah. Like on the same disc.
I'm very concerned on what that is.
Don't worry about it. You'll find out when we tell you.
Yeah.
Huh.
There is more to be discovered. As of right now, stay in the dark. Okay, so let's start where our story left off, shall we? Just to summarize real quick, you guys are on the crashed ship, the sky ship of the Elix Grace, a Melodic collective warship that crashed long ago, decades ago, and you have discovered these ruins. You've also discovered that these ruins are traversed every now and then, or just recently. You ran into some hooligans outside. Some Amber Knights were hunting down some Lead Knights, and you helped lay them out, basically. And after helping clean up with that, you sent off the surviving Amber Knight, but not without exchanging some information, and good luck. That night, you had some information sort of split amongst the party. You had some visions. A pair of you extended your minds beyond the stars themselves to commune with a group of beings, sort of like Watcher, like emissaries, almost like angels of the stars, but they didn't really look like your classic angel. Called the Watchers, the Stargazers, or the 13. You received a boon from them, able to now perceive a little bit of that future sight that they have once per day. Another member in the party was, at one part, thinking she was dreaming, but it turned out she was conscious in a bit of an illusionary state, met with an acquaintance by situation, Nash, the warrior or knight of Cosette of the Lanternwood, a fey queen of the south area. But he is tied and tethered to you by your familiar, who helped save you all those years ago, your pseudo-dragon friend Ori. And after explaining his business and what actually he thinks about you, breaking it down instead of sort of clearing up the basis, starting fresh from the argument that was prior, you guys came to a bit of an understanding, and then were rudely interrupted by the shadowy figure that haunts your dreams. The sort of emissary of the betrayer Lord Umbrus, an angel of his own self, who is still mysterious and a bit of a bitch, who taunts you but doesn't ask much of you, just simply wants you to, I guess, hit the high road and kick everyone off out of your way, where Nash is a bit more sorry that you got dragged into a situation where Cosette thinks you owe her something, as Ori is a bit of a gift with restraints, in a way, shall we say. So, understanding that situation, also being peeped on by Indigo over there, as Indigo
making sure she was okay.
Peeping on the halls of the room. Clearing some things up, you found out that the Elix Grace has many lost treasures, many strange things. This meeting happened under a tree that is somehow connected to the Fae. This ship is filled with these strange magical relics, this treasure vessel collected over the world. But after the party reconnected, came together and woke up the next morning, some information was shared. Things were cleared up with Chuck. Chuck explained his situation and it with his background and allowed someone to peer his history. Look into his history using the Penisive, a magical relic on the ship in the seer room where you guys were sleeping, the divination room, where a bit of blood or a bit of tears could perceive a bit of the history of a person. Using this to learn a bit about the ship's prior residents and Chuck himself, you learn that Chuck was a bit of a monster in his past, branded with evil in a literal sense. He was a servant to a cause that would have been considered dark, a servant to the demon dragon's cult, a warrior in it, a proficient warrior at that, fighting with the Holy Disruptors, a very renowned adventurer group in the Far Tide Guild, but even beyond the Far Tide Guild, a very famous adventurer group, notably losing one of their members in that adventurer group in ending the Demon Dragon cult, or at least they thought they ended it. As you would soon come to find out prior days that there is some bit of an organization still around. But yes, Chuck, living with that guilt as he had been changed by the magic of the fight into a better man, explained his situation to you. And after all this information sharing, the party split for about a moment. Rosalie staying with Finneath, the contracted devil, the Rakshasa, who had re-emerged from a side quest to retrieve some soap to remove a curse from Rosalie.
She's working on that.
Yeah,
right?
she was doing some.
You have the soap now.
Some scrubbing.
That's her first thing on her list to do.
Exactly.
Uncurse.
The rest of the party decided to separate and look a little bit deeper to the ship, collecting a map, collecting some treasure, collecting a necklace that casts light from some dead bodies, finding the ruins of the ship, finding posters, information about its prior residents, and then finding a room of relics, where you met with one of the surviving automatons, the fabricated people of this ship.
Reina de las Cucarachas.
The Mistress Maiden, or the Head Maid, as she's actually called, a collective mind of those little metallic bugs that you've seen throughout the ship. These are cleaners, and when they come together, they form their leader, the Head Maiden, the Head Maid, who discussed with you a bit of a predicament. She was sorry that she couldn't keep the ship too clean for you guys. You know, she felt bad about that. Mm-hmm. She was very surprised to see a member of the House of Andrix to be on the ship, and she acknowledged you being a fellow fabricated. So that was their indigo. But you guys were warmly welcomed, and she selfishly said, she asked you for help.
Kill her sick children.
Kill her sick children. As it seems a bit of her brood had gone mad with this thing called Rotten Fossick. A unique reaction you haven't really seen before, where maybe Fossick gets a little too chaotic, and it forms crystal-like false quintessite, but this time they're highly reactive and dangerous. And you saw some of that as some of the cockroaches were corrupted at CockCon, as we like to say.
Cockroach convention.
Entering a battle with these cockroaches, but not before collecting some relics from this room. A scepter of Spa from the island of Spa, Echel's heritage, in connection to that, leading her to collect some of these items. Not only that, but a book of poison or toxin, and a holy tablet of sorts with a poem on it. But collecting these items, you were quickly assaulted by cockroaches, by corrupted cockons.
What the fuck?
Cocks. Look at these cocks on the ground, these boys.
Chuck got turned into a pinball.
Yeah, Chuck got pinballed between the crystals. The rest of the party.
You're right.
They
fought the
carried
crystals.
in their little rotten crystal.
Yeah.
Their crystal god.
Chuck whacked
Bella wasn't here for all this.
The fight was pretty chaotic.
We did not tell her what happened either.
Chaotic magic erupted with certain occurrences in the field, and certain things did happen due to that chaos.
Yup.
Many certain things happened during that chaos, and we are still finding out the effects, shall we say, and the hardships that come with messing with more chaotic magic, shall we say. And yeah, the party decided to just leave there after they finished fighting the cockroaches and explore a little bit further, heading towards a head laboratory of the rear half of the ship that you're in. A place where you would hope to find maybe some answers to the current situation of the group, and maybe some benefits to help you move forward. Not to mention, you were told that the spirit you seek is deeper in the vessel, beyond the auditorium, where some of the rooms have collapsed, so you're kind of limited on how you get there. But beyond the auditorium lies your true goal for Pat Icecrest.
Yup.
But the maiden did not have any issue with you acquiring some of the items of the vessel. She merely wished to keep it clean, as its items were recovered by what she believes to be agents of the Melodic
Yeah,
Collective.
we're not a collective. We are sent here to collect.
Sure. But getting back to our story, cutting away from this, we got back to the seer, the divination room, where I assume Rosalie, about 2 minutes ago. The party has departed. You have the soap in your hand, and Finith is the only one with you besides Ori. Mm-hmm. Do you just start scrubbing?
Well, they had like the little copper basin, and she'll take a little bit of water from.
There's a bit of snow melt here.
Yeah.
You know.
She'll just take some water from somewhere, put it in there. And she's just gonna actually dunk the cloak in and start scrubbing just the cloak itself so that she's trying not to get herself.
Fair.
Because she doesn't really want to take a bath in freezing cold air.
Yeah,
Ori, hold my hand.
even though the elves.
Yeah, Ori's like, actually no, Finith, can you like hold there's a lot of hair. Can you just, for me please?
Okay, fine, sure. He
Thank
kind of like
you.
moves over and grabs your hair
One
up.
touch of a woman.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is this fine?
Yes, that's fine. I just was trying to
Okay.
make sure I did not get it wet. I do not want to catch a cold in all of this.
In the climate of the
Catch a cold,
Elves, it is like just above freezing. That's why you get some of the snow melt, but yeah, it's chilly. As you begin to wash off that cold water, some of it drops onto you, but you start scrubbing off the cloak, and you realize like stuff seems to be coming off the cloak as the texture changes. It was a rougher cloak before, but the water and the soap almost like collects like some sort of matter or dust off of it that starts getting scrubbed off, and you just start picking up this like smell, this odor that smells a little bit like sour milk.
Oh.
And Finith picks it up too. Oh, that is disgusting.
She's gonna like kind of try at the clasp to see if she can take it off now.
You feel like it's getting looser, but not coming off yet.
She's gonna continue scrubbing.
This might be a little bit of a process. Going through this process, you eventually find out that you have to get every corner of this cloak, and this process does take like at least 24 minutes. You know, almost
while
half.
wearing it.
You know, it's like
Yeah, she eventually like turns it so then the clasp is behind her neck so
Yeah.
that she's just like scrubbing in front of her at least.
and beneath, and you were just like having to like put your nose away from the water as it.
Oh yeah, because both of them have animal noses.
Yes,
oh
yes.
no.
It
That's
is
so expensive.
not great, but Ori is like somewhere off to the side, does not want to do anything with this. But after those couple dozen minutes, eventually you hear, and the robe just falls off.
Into the water.
Yeah, into the water. Oh, thank everything in the heavens. That was disgusting.
With it being in the water, does the smell get better now that it's completely in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
I'm going to leave it in there for a little bit and let it soak, and then I will take it out and let it dry before putting it in like the bag of holding or something.
That is a good prank piece to give to someone. Preferably someone that can afford the soap, otherwise you'd be more of an evildoer, I would say.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm probably just gonna get rid of it and sell it. I don't really want it. Maybe I'll ask if the school would want it. They might want it since it's cursed. It's a good.
That or the authorities, that's up to you. He's going to start like just rummaging around some of the random things in this space. What are you going to do next?
So I do need to talk to my friend, but after that, I know that you seem a little bit of prankstery. Would you want to try to come up with maybe an idea, something that we could do to make everybody in the group laugh?
I do have a bit of the nature of mischief. So, I could be persuaded to do something.
Bonding.
Do you have any ideas? Because I don't really have too many at the moment, but you know, it's been a while since I've been able to play a prank on Kaislin, and it would be kind of funny to do so.
I would say that's a good idea. My contract doesn't say anything about producing fear or shock in my partner. So, business partner. So, shall we... What do you have in mind?
I don't know. I know, like, of course. Does the water still smell from the
Oh my-
cloak?
Wow.
A bit, yeah.
Don't dump spoiled milk on somebody.
I hope you do.
I don't know what we have that we can really use. I mean, we have the water, but that seems a little too mean, especially since we can't really easily clean it.
How about this? I mean, this ship... No doubt this ship has concoctions and smells of, vials of expired things here or there. You could just sneak something into his clothing in the night, or you could surprise him, or I'm sure being an alchemist, you are familiar with... Well, I'm not sure if they teach you that in school. Do you know the recipe of a stink bomb?
Does she?
You're a pretty good kid.
No, yeah, she was.
I would say roll a d20. We'll say roll a d20. I'm gonna make a DC.
Put a bucket on a door. And
That's a 19!
So maybe you didn't act upon it, but you are familiar that one of the first things you can learn in alchemist training, not from your teachers, from the students ahead of you, if you know the right students, is how to make a very elegant stink bomb, shall we say. So yes, you are familiar with it.
Perhaps I might know one. I've never made it before. It sounds like you know how to make one.
I am proficient with certain things, and I have had professional training, of course, and least professional training, so yes, I have some knowledge of that.
Look at this fucking honker.
Maybe we can do that. Do it like a few rooms down, so then it doesn't make this room stink. But then they trip over a wire, and then it like...
Let us go to a kitchen. I'm sure there has to be a kitchen, or we can go to the... There might be some sort of place with stored items that we could work with. Maybe a closet with cleaning supplies, no doubt.
Right, you're right. Yes, let's. While we do that though, I am going to be listening to a message from my friend. But we can start walking while we're heading that way.
Very well. I'm going to rummage ahead. Probably also better that the blind girl doesn't step on any tripwires.
I have Ori. But yes,
If they're not lethal, I'm not sure that dragon would stop you.
You're not wrong. She's just as much of a prankster.
So you go ahead and activate your class as you begin to walk. Your prior message detailed the need to understand the branded eye cult. You gave some information on what you knew, and you had hopes that within the capital city of the Heracon Empire, your acquaintance could research some other information. And having that warm sensation on the necklace, knowing that there is a message there, you activate it. And beginning your walking, the message comes through a bit slow. Almost like it was said while reading from notes.
Okay.
So I was looking, and I happened to find an idea. They use blood, assumption, dragons of abyss, hells, are intertwined with fire, poison, necrotic. There must be source of power. Vast death, maybe. Great beasts killed, maybe. Find location. Hypothesis.
Because that was her response to me, and
Yeah.
then she gets to send a sending as well.
There is one more word though. After hypothesis, it's like a very volcano.
Okay.
You know volcanoes in the Draco Peaks?
Well, I rolled pretty good for her research roll. You see this information. What would you like to do with it?
She does, like, as it's going, she does, of course, have, like, her journal out and her pen writing down exactly, like, the wording.
It does seem like she's communicating this need for mass death, blood, these damaging sources of fire, necrotic, poison. It's all like, those are all present in this cult-like thing, or at least that's our assumption based on details. So, probably needs to be at a source or an origin of mass death of some sorts.
Okay.
And the hypothesis is a volcano could align with that. You do remember from what...
The volcano that was in the... right next to Cassette and the Lanternwood.
That would be one of the most recent active volcanoes in the area.
Yeah.
And you do remember that Chuck, in his prior vision that was communicated to you? Because I think you told everyone what you saw in that vision, right? If you remember, that cult was in the basis of a dormant, dead volcano when they were speaking to the red blood flame. So there is this symbology connection, you know. You would know the volcano you think of is called Mount Ekreen.
Does that explosion match up timeline-wise with anything that she's heard anybody else talk about with the Branded Eye so far?
You do know that the explosion occurred a little under 5 years ago. The eruption that destroyed half the Lanternwood and eviscerated the side and made the ash wood. Chuck's story. He said over 5 years ago, around 5 years ago, he was changed, a changed man. So there may be a lineup there of something, something maybe.
She makes a note of that, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna bring that up to them next time. Is there another message for her or no?
No, I didn't think of adding another message, so no.
Okay.
She definitely rolled pretty high, and that was like the big hint she acquired.
Okay. She does go ahead and send a message back. Thank you. There's a lot to tell you. Hard over message. Perhaps exchange letters? I almost died like 3 times, I think.
Woo.
We did it.
But who's counting, right?
We can make it a 4.
We're okay.
Okay.
That's all she's gonna send.
So this is you activating it
Yeah.
for the day and sending it, and she can respond to it.
And then send another one back, and technically I can respond to that.
She does not respond yet because I think she might be asleep.
Yeah.
It's about 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning right now. Well, no, it's probably like 9 now after CockCon.
So yeah, she'll do that. As she's following Beneath and stuff. So yeah, they're gonna go try to set up a break, I guess.
Okay. Cut away for just a moment. As you're walking down the hallway, as time's passing, we cut away as we see the party just cockroach swarming, metal cockroaches, purple crystals explode off, Chuck getting bounced around on crystals, just eldritch blasting as roaches begin to swarm. Cutting back. Minutes pass now as you have found yourself rummaging through closets and some things are collapsed and there are signs of decay and bones and people that have fallen and died before the ship's crash or maybe after the ship crash. It's unclear. Some people have died before, it seems, that you saw in the visions. Before the ship even crashed, some people died. But you are looking through a pantry of chemicals, cleaning supplies, and some have clearly gone bad, and some have solidified. Some have bubbled out of their containers and solidified into like this powderous concrete like mix, you know. And stuff smells. Beneath kind of like stops you on one punch. She's like, I wouldn't touch that. I don't know if you. You realize Ori doesn't recognize what this is, and you don't recognize what this is. So it might be some sort of metallurgic collective chemical or something, but it has this strong, like, lemon smell to it. It's a very strong lemon smell with a slight vinegar after smell.
You should taste it.
Yeah, you taste it.
Waft.
Do you think that you can maybe grab like a vial of that for me then? Because I would like to analyze it if I don't know what it is.
It's in its powderous form, but if you have a vial, I could get you some of it. It's very good for getting stains out of cloth. And it's also very good for keeping people asleep for a long time. It's almost a poison. It has the risk, though, of having some permanent damage to the brain.
Advanced chloroform.
They wake up, they lose 2 points of intelligence.
Oh
You
no.
keep that shit away from me.
No, yeah, she's not gonna use it on
God
you.
forbid you lose your smarts.
He's already losing them. What are you
I
talking
know.
about?
How dare you take me from 20 to 18?
I think your alchemist kit comes with 3 vials.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think you
thought
might
it.
use some, or 1 maybe. I know you collected
Dumbass.
something at some point, I can't remember. It should be in your
I
inventory.
have a level of wisdom.
No, yeah, I'm looking at her inventory of stuff that she's gathered so far. She's used 2 vials, so she has 1 more.
Okay, he'll take this 3rd one and he'll start scooping up. You can hear this like it almost sounds like the consistency of flour. Like it's a very soft powder. He puts it in, corks the vial, and blows the rest of the dust off. Okay.
We don't do that.
Just don't open it, and don't breathe it, and don't do anything with it that I would do if I was, say, trying to poison someone.
Alright.
Now, you can poison someone all you want. I just don't tell anyone I told you to do that.
I mostly just would like to analyze it, especially since the Metallurgic Collective has a bunch of magic and technology that we do not understand, so I would like to understand it more.
Why does he know about the special metallurgic collective substance?
He's always had a reference that he has knowledge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he said that he's had knowledge before, so
Yeah.
Rosalie's just like, okay.
I'm curious. How do you find you practice alchemy with your situation?
So it's a little bit of a combination of a few things. One, of course, I am very careful about what I learn, but specifically, I pay very close attention to the smell of things, if it is powder, if it is liquid, or if it is solid. How does it respond to fire, which you can use quite a bit of fire magic, or it will usually tell me the color and the viscosity of things, compare it to other things that we do know. So like, oh, it's the texture of maple syrup, or maybe it's more the texture of water. She tells me a lot of these different things, and then usually I will waft some of the smell from it just to try to see if it is something that I recognize, just because I do have a better nose, seeing as I have a deer nose. I also pay attention to how it responds just to other elements, other compounds, things like that. It is harder since I cannot see it myself, and I cannot see through Ori, but I do my best based on the knowledges that I have of everything else.
That makes sense. I was a bit worried that you were tasting things.
I mean, if I feel very confident in what something is, I might taste a tiny bit, but...
Well, as long as you're confident. Oh, this is perfect. As he picks up this like little block of something, you can hear it's pretty light. If you take this and go burn it over a flame, I'm sure you're familiar with something similar, but it sort of turns into a dust that has a most rancid smell. Put it in a sack that can break, and the powder will smell like rotten eggs.
That's smart. I will say I'm probably going to put it where it won't get on them, just so then I don't want to deal with smelling it myself.
That's fair. Some people are allergic to it too, so it might give them a rash.
Yeah.
It's not too dangerous as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, so close enough that they'll smell it, but not close enough that it will get on them. That
Friendship.
Alright.
So cute.
I think they have been hurt. Yes, I think Kaizen's in combat. I can smell his blood on the ground. Oh.
it should.
They're fine, but something has
wrong.
I don't know how I feel about what just happened, because I'm not entirely sure I understand the feeling I just received. I think they're fine, though.
Are you sure?
They're living. And within this plane.
Okay.
It took him a second, didn't it?
Why don't we continue your chores or your wishes, and maybe we start heading that way?
Alright, yes.
We have time. They're doing their own thing.
I'll probably skip the potions then, just do the prank, and I wanted to get the spell written down that I wanted to do, but...
Priorities. The prank.
Priorities. Not getting everything else that might be more helpful in a daily shift. Pranks.
Real John moment.
You mentioned
She's been wanting to prank Kaislyn for so long.
On the Alex Grace.
hey, if you gotta prank someone in the necropolis, you gotta prank someone in the necropolis. Tell me, you have mentioned this spell before, but I don't think I was there whenever you were learning or really defined what spell this is, or maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't care at the moment. What are you talking about?
So, do you remember Braun?
Yes.
So, he was teaching me Wrath of the Smites.
That is a very interesting spell for a wizard to try to learn. You know, there have been very few wizards that have tried to adapt spells from divine origins or patrons or stuff like that. You would be...
Paladins are not necessarily divine, though.
No, but the oath is a contract of sorts.
Yes.
And contracts tend to be somewhat divine. They can be hellish in origin. I have a different theory about magics that most people have. And I'm sure your theory is different than your friends. But I'm in the party of contracts are divine, and divine does not necessarily mean good or evil.
No, yes, I agree. It is more... I intend to make a vow with what I plan to do with the spell, rather than a vow to any one specific person.
And would your wrath, your rage, originate from the thought that those people might stop you from achieving this promise?
No, it's the anger and wrath that I feel when somebody hurts somebody that I want to protect, and that's where that wrath stems from.
It's very sorcerer of you. In a not bad way, in a good way. You know, sorcerers draw their magic from their emotions. Their rage, their sadness, their sorrow, their madness. You know, it's just what they do.
I mean, Braun himself drew it from his emotions, so...
Yes, he's a fae.
Yes,
I guess you are partially one too.
Yes.
Yes, all fae are basically 2 steps from sorcerers.
I mean... People already say that I am a little strange because I can almost feel magic at times. Rather than most wizards, I can feel the flow of it around me.
You know...
He's not like other girls.
Main
Sorry.
character energy.
I mean, not all the girls have deer legs.
You are right. Some of them are
She's
slime.
not like other
Some of them are
girls, but
And some of them are robots.
Yeah. And some of them are
Women
men.
come in all shapes and sizes.
Furred, metal, slime,
Yeah.
basic.
Yeah.
Goblins, though?
You know, and some of them are goblins.
Some of them are
Some
goblins.
women are goblins.
Can't say that!
It's true though. Our goblin's just not here.
yeah.
You know,
We don't have them.
Listen, I'm a dice goblin.
Yeah, no, I was about to be like, there's the dice
self-identified goblin. Well, let me say this: there are a few mages who truly understand their connection to magic goes beyond their learning skills. And the fact that you already feel that means that you might just be a spark. You know, you are familiar, as you guys are walking now, you're familiar, of course, with your court magicians, or what do people call them now? Vihexen, caster, kingmakers, whatever.
They go by many names. I'd still call them the court mages.
The court mages indeed. They are all what I would consider sparks. Because they have found a way to use magic uniquely their own. And they bend it over backwards to do whatever the hell they want, you know.
truly, that is. I want to become one myself. I don't really want to be an the court archmage or whatever that Tyson wants to be. That I don't care about that. But I want to be a court magician because I want to be able to make the change in the world.
Oh, they definitely can make change. They are almost super humanoid.
Yes.
When you get that much magic, you're... Well, I don't know if you have... Never mind.
No, what was you going to say? It's interesting hearing what you think.
Roll persuasion for me. Please roll persuasion. Please, pretty please.
Please. Her persuasion. Just roll. She's got a +1.
Finn's the
It's a 9.
Finn's the kind of character to be like, roll persuasion.
Persuade me to do it. What'd you get?
A 9.
9. I have read many books. Sometimes I just speculate, so it's not worth the time to talk about theories right now.
Well, I mean, we're still walking. It's just interesting to hear what you think. It's interesting to hear more perspectives.
I'll just tell you this. Magic is like a creature of its own. It gets in you and it changes you. Both how you treat others and how the world literally treats you. That's my theory. And there's more complexities to that I won't get into right now, as I just happen to realize I don't know where we are.
Oh, get lost.
I think I can register where they are. But let's take some time. Why don't you do your spell thing, and I'll go over there and try to find a map.
Okay. Very well.
Advice, mage. If you really intend to make this smite your own, you have to really focus on that rage when you write it down. Otherwise it might not stick.
Very well.
He goes over and kind of like bounds over towards a space and just starts rummaging through shit. You realize he has this habit of just picking up things. Probably has a lot of just random things in his pockets.
Where does he keep?
Oh, he has like those pants pockets that go down to your knees.
I was about to be like, does he have pockets
No, I mean,
folding?
he's a magical creature. He has magical pants.
Pocket dimension?
Pockets of folding.
I'm so glad you said that. Okay. So
You got the whole squad left.
you'll take a moment to do this. Okay.
Yeah, so she uses, of course, she writes it in like her spell book with the pen. But then as she's really focusing in on the spell is actually when and like trying to make sure that she is creating it the way that she wants it to be created is actually when she's carving the sigil that she makes for each of her spells into her staff. And really focusing in on what exactly she wants for this.
You begin the process that you've done many a time. As your staff has a magical property to it. A magical property to it is your focus and acts as your tome of spells of sorts. At least your prepared ones. But the wood itself, like I said, is magical. And it seems to almost change its grooves every now and then, adapting to your magic. Maybe changing to new spells. And as you go to add this spell, you begin the process, right? And I assume you have the gold to add it to your inventory.
I said that I asked if we could take it from the group stuff that we just got for.
So you put the gold out. What
Yeah.
I'm saying. Okay. You lay out the gold and you take out your small knife, maybe a blade used for alchemy or something like that. And you begin the process, dragging into this wood. It is pressed down and cut like driftwood. It's so light, it's so delicate like paper, but yet so unbreakable like steel. The magic hardens its core, and its exterior is smooth and soft. And as you bend the wood and make these sigils, the carve and the pool becomes more aggressive, as I assume you heed the words of Finith.
Yes. Specifically, as she's working through this spell, as she's driving in her blade into the wood, she's focusing on the anger and pain and wrath that she felt when Ori had fallen. She focused on that feeling that she felt when everybody was attacked by the led night, and then she also pulls back from her childhood the feeling that she felt the day before she ran away.
Okay. In this thought, these memories, in this complex soup of anger and frustration, you find yourself enraptured by this carving. It only occurs when you write a spell that truly enthralls you. But this is a different type of enthralling. This is a magic that is alien to you, that you are adapting to your own arcana. And wizard magic comes from rationality. It comes from the physical understanding of matter and how it interacts with the arcane, the results and the actions required. But this relies at maybe a quarter, maybe 50%, maybe 75% on that feeling in the chest, on that heat and that pressure, on that valve that just wants to be open, on that scream that just wants to erupt, on that blade that you just want to drive through the ribs of your enemy. And as you feel this feeling and feel these emotions, can you just go ahead and make a wisdom save for me? As you almost open a gate to a different field of magic you've never entered before.
Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Okay.
That's a good roll.
As you pass into this gate, into this field of emotional magic, into this path of rage and wrath, into this path of domination with your own will and might, but from a place where the rage of your past feeds the path of your future, you find yourself not taken into it to an extent that maybe would concern you in your carving. The spell doesn't become wild, because you realize as you dabble into these other areas of arcana, as you try to adapt spells that do not belong in your magic, to fill in some of the gaps that are required to make them wizard spells, you must put something in there. All mages, when they go to school, learn of how to craft their own spells. It requires dabbling a bit with the wild energies of magic, testing a magic out and potentially losing control of it. And in this moment, as you're writing this spell, you almost allowed wild energy into it to a point that when you use it, there's a chance that it could erupt, that you could lose yourself in it.
Uh-oh.
And that seems to be the nature of some spells like this. Some spells that require you to go outside your field. But you pull yourself. You harness yourself. You take that rationality and that rage and you cover the rage and the rationality and you channel it and you shepherd it. Like a shepherd with his flock, you push it into the right hole and you carve the final line, and the gold from the pile of money just sort of turns to dust in a split second, and it fills the groove, and the light illuminates. You can feel heat burn to the wood, and for a moment you think the wood burns and sears, almost like a laser engraving, and finally it cools down, and this spell is in your roster.
And as it finishes, she takes both sides of the staff, pulls her blade out, and holds it for a moment, and she thinks back to what her father has told her of how paladins make a vow. Mm-hmm. And as she takes it out, she goes, "I vow to use this spell to bring the wrath of 1,000 suns upon anybody that tries to hurt those that I wish to protect."
As you finish your oath, you feel as if some breath of your words are retained in your weapon. Maybe even the song of your weapon. As I told you before, the blade song is a manifestation of your teachings, the song of your masters and those who come before you. Though you weren't taught by a singer of blades, your song is the song of those who taught you. And now that song has a other note in it.
It's got a line of metal in there.
So I will say, you had the chance of risking wild magic when using this spell.
Ooh, yeah, I figured when you started saying that.
Yeah, now it is controlled. That does not mean it's a wizard spell necessarily. Mm-hmm. That means that at some points you may want to allow it to explode. You may want to be enthralled by it. and that is up to you. But also there are chances where the dam could be cracked and a little bit could leak out. But you have built a very strong dam with a DC of 18. You did pretty well with this.
Nice.
Now you would have gotten the spell no matter what. It just would have been a little bit more wacky sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah, that's super fun. Oh, I love that.
Rosalie's such a good wizard. She can control wild magic. Isn't that cool, guys? It's so awesome that we have a wizard that can do that.
I know, right?
We got a wizard who's actually a rogue that can accidentally do wild magic that also knows paladin spells. Oops!
Guys, this is
Totally
not
a wizard.
You are not a wizard. You are a rogue sorcerer paladin, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
You're a mage.
You start to hear.
Your magic class.png.
You start to hear slow clapping, kind of muffled by hands that are a bit more paw-like.
Shut up.
As Benny was like slow
Like
clapping.
backwards.
I didn't think it would work. That's why I stepped away about 100 feet.
Damn.
But clearly, like we said, you are a spark in the making, and maybe Kaizen too.
Oh, he's a spark, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could be a court magician if that is the fire you want to burn. Hey, maybe you could be an archmage, but I don't think anyone wants to be an archmage.
No, that's a little bit too much for me. I don't care if people like me. That's the issue. And as a court mage, you don't need to be liked. But as the archmage, you do.
My theory is that the archmages are just... Don't tell Kaislin this, but I have a feeling that the archmages are just a bunch of people that accidentally got into too much power and then people thought they could worship them. So it seems like a bit of a ploy. You know, mages have a pride issue, and I'm not above that, being a devil mage myself now. But at least I'm aware of it.
No, I know we have our own pride issues.
Imagine a mage that's worshipped by other mages.
I thought you were a tiger. Lion joke.
Imagine a wizard that's literally has churches built to them. How big is their pride?
Oh no, trust me, I think his ego gets to his head sometimes.
I love how, like, Rosalie, you're a spark that's like a flame that ignites your own furnace. Kaislin is an accidental spark at the gas station.
He is!
You got into your car multiple times and then went to the gas pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm like pumping up my car.
Your car's
and
still
I'm
on.
like, I feel a spark inside me. And I grab the handle.
Dude, my cousin does that.
Well,
He's
What?
fucking crazy. Anyway.
why don't you go ahead and open your stink bomb now? Yeah,
Do we know how to get back to the room?
I have a pretty good idea. Oh, also, I found this. Oh, I just forgot you couldn't see. Sorry. Here, you can feel it. As you touch it, it's a moving little creature, a fuzzy. I think it's a mouse.
Why did you give me a mouse?
Because that means things are living here that aren't machinery.
Oh, you're right.
Which means there's probably dangerous wildlife here, too.
Right. Well, why don't we head back up to the room
Don't show Chell that mouse.
and then set up the stink bomb a few rooms
Prismagik.
down, and then we go find everybody.
Did he
course.
kill the mouse?
Can I
Like,
see
is
the
it
mouse?
just
No,
hanging out?
she's like holding it.
Yes,
Is Ori hungry? Is Ori a reptile? Are dragons reptiles?
Kind
what
of.
do you think? Because like they're
They're like a reptile cousin.
Warm-blooded reptile.
Fatales.
Fatale.
yeah, actually.
I will say though, you hear the, and it just stops.
She figured that he was probably going to eat it.
You saw a little bit of iron in there. Hey, he's got to satiate that thirst somehow.
No,
And
yeah.
Honestly, it kind of tastes like crap. His curse is he craves humanoid flesh. There is no exception to that.
His quirk. His freaky flaw.
My freaky flaw
He
is
said he craves human flesh.
Freaky,
Oh,
Yo, me too.
he's a 10, but he's a cannibal.
Freaky Fall Friday.
Is it really cannibalism if he's a monster?
That's a good. Well, he could turn into any other humanoid.
True.
That's a good point. Maybe it's not cannibal. Maybe you should tell him
Yeah,
that. Maybe you feel less
because
bad
he's
about
not a humanoid.
it. Yeah, he's not.
a devil.
He's not.
Devil.
Hey.
Anyway.
Does it count if you used to be humanoid?
No.
Anyway,
So, he's going to start putting
things you
things
say, dude.
together as you guys move on, and cutting some time by you. can you go ahead and roll me a d4, please? Please.
that mean?
Roll me a d4.
How many she makes?
Where's my D4? There it is. Which appendage Finn bites? That was a 3.
Just the leg.
Okay. And also, can you roll me a d10, please?
This is making me nervous.
You should only be afraid if you ask for a D100.
A 9.
A 9, okay. As you're walking around, you have eventually arrived and went through the process of using a bit of a burner candle that you found, some oil that you collected from that remains, and you got a little bit of this stink bomb action going. You did make 3 stink bombs. These little stink bombs. They make a cloud about 15 feet in diameter.
Oh my god.
Or sorry.
That's not a little stink bomb.
That's a big stink
No,
bomb.
it's not. Sorry, 15 feet in radius, so it's 30 feet in diameter. The smell expands that big.
That's not a little stink bomb. That's enough to get an
I
entire
could have
classroom.
given her a 60-foot one.
Oh my god.
But
So she'll pocket 2 of them to keep.
they look like little, you had to cover them in cloth that you found around them, but you wrapped them with twine.
And how
Very
long did those last?
Someone kicked them in the leg.
All you have to do is give them a little spark, or use prestidigitation to light a candle. You can light the pack, or you can just toss them on the ground.
Like a popper.
Like a popper, it might build up enough friction, but it just needs to get warm, and it produces the smell, and that lasts for, you think, about an hour, maybe 40 minutes.
And then we're gonna be so tired, and we're gonna want to take a nap, and
hate
then
you.
Second thing though, as you were walking around, you stumbled upon a couple interesting items. Just some odds bits in here from personal people carrying items, but you do find on the collection of a couple piles of just junk laying around some gold. Do you want to take gold
she
from the
dead ass
ship?
isn't gonna fucking take it.
They're war criminals.
They're war criminals. You know how many
That have
They
been
are
dead.
dead.
They've
This is
been
their
dead
final
for
resting
70
place.
years.
take the money from the colonizers?
You just spent money on a spell.
Yeah. Think about it. Think of all the horrible things that they've done.
She did just dabble into
I know.
a courageous oath,
How much money is it?
You estimate you've probably found about 90 gold's worth of platinum and
Take it.
gold.
Bruh!
Why wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
she takes it.
They're
she, She grabs it and she's like,
I don't feel good about it, but I took this 20 off that dead body.
these people are bad people. It is okay. The people that don't need it anymore, they are bad people.
They're bad people, Rosalie. They're bad people, Rosalie.
Little chill on your shoulder.
They are bad people. It does not matter. They deserve it.
You
You
just-
do not need to feel bad about taking this.
You just hear Ori just chirping. It doesn't give you a sense that she's judging you. She just normally chirps, but maybe a little bit more. Right now, she's just chirping with a little bit of judgment.
Wow.
But in the sense she doesn't actually know what's going on, but she knows you feel uncomfortable, and she kind of wants to push you down that way.
Bruh. Shut up,
She
Ori.
takes it and she puts it in her pocket. She's like, these are bad people. They deserve it. I don't normally take from places. These are bad people, though. And we are taking a lot of artifacts to a very good place. And that is going to make up for this.
Finn thinks this is hilarious.
You know you got permission, right?
Well, no, you guys
Was
never
she there?
told the.
Oh, yeah, they weren't there.
She wasn't there.
No.
Yo, you weren't there.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know that we have permission to
So-
take anything we want.
I will say
Maybe that would help her
you
feel
just
better.
add 90 gold to your inventory, but it's probably more 3 platinum and then 60 gold.
She can donate to Kaila. Do we tell her?
You rolled pretty well.
90 GP. You're bad people.
As you begin to walk
And
on,
they're dead.
I don't need it anymore.
as you begin to walk, Finith actually says, eventually as you pass a little bit beyond that, he's just I wouldn't judge you, but I'm sure others would. But who cares what others think, They are war criminals from your perspective, right? So it's they're enemies of the state. You can take your money, from them. They are dead people, and this is their final resting place, but,
Everybody, shut the fuck up!
their souls are
We
gone.
need the money!
We love you, Finny.
I usually would
Someone cut
not
this head.
take anything from a dead body as I very much so believe that that is wrong. Well, I myself am not religious. I did grow up in an area that very much so believed that the dead still like to have their things.
Yes, I'm very well aware of the unified pantheon that some people worship. I will say this, you're a better mage than most. At least you cared enough to consider it.
I usually would not even think about taking it. The only reason why I even considered it is because of the fact that this is the resting place of the Metallurgic Collective, and they are people who have done lots of bad things.
Scum of the earth.
Literally.
If it wasn't for that, I would not have taken it. And I do not believe in taking things without others' permission. If, of course, like with the Gnoll that we had met, he said that we were welcome to take what was in the chest, and we did, because that was his thank you to us, and we even made sure to bury the dead from that. That I'm very much so not somebody who likes to take from the dead. Even if it is something that is useful for me, it is not mine, and I still view it as stealing.
I admire your thought process.
I love our rogue. I love our rogue.
I will say, it was kind of sad, I think that person was a mother, but...
Oh, don't say that,
He
man!
just got Snickers.
I love you, Finny. You're great.
Or she made it out of it, I don't know.
You and Ori both are so trying to get into my head.
I think we're so close to them now, don't worry about it. Cutting away from you, we cut into...
Speaking of pillaging the dead.
The party has wound up in what is the head laboratory of the rear of the vessel.
Yep.
This is like a more secluded, smaller laboratory to do maybe more sus things.
Are we sharing needles, guys?
Yeah! Don't do that.
Do not.
We do not promote that.
But I will just remind you what this room was exactly. You walked into this space and found that it was maybe trapped at one point. It was not currently trapped, as it was busted into and partially destroyed. There was a fight in the hallway to get to this door. This door was destroyed. One door hanging on its hinges, the other one falling on the ground. This room was a bit of a laboratory / experimentation space, and it had a number of weird things. Crates filled with mechanical body parts for automatons, or maybe like those mechanical limbs that you've seen some people have nowadays. Those arcane, sometimes powered, sometimes non-powered limbs, but they do exist. But you also found an old vault that was falling apart. No one looked like it wasn't damaged, it was just getting old from wear and tear. There's a hole in the roof, so this place has received some moisture, has destroyed some things. You found that in this vault was gold, dust, a diamond.
Right.
You found another interesting item, shall we say, a book that Kaizen liked a lot.
Yes.
An arcane theory book.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Which he knew there was some historical problems with, but...
Yeah, I want to roll to see if I know what that is.
But we'll get to that in just a second.
There's also an ingot of serene silver.
Yes, there was a large ingot of serene silver. But the party also noticed that in the corner of this room, there was a chair where there were some needles, a machine to inject people with Fossick, as there were some vials of unrefined Fossick left behind there. It's actually 3, not 4. It's 3.
Oh, you got changed. That's where you said 4.
No, it was always 3. So, I don't know where you got that 4 from. Maybe in the recording I said 4, but it was 3 in my notes. But there were 4 slots. There are 4 slots. There are 3 vials.
So one's missing.
Yeah. But there's also another section of this room, a large metal container, a large crate of sorts. That's almost like this. I said it was kind of like the shape of a coffin, but it was like tilted on its side.
Yeah.
And it was surrounded by this almost opaque blue orb of light that has this very dim glow to it. A magical protection of some sorts that had trapped another thing in it. A arm of a dragonoid.
Yeah.
The forearm torn off of a blue scaled dragonoid reaching for this metal container was left in this space, almost frozen time, literally frozen time probably, just torn off by this magic. Now, this is some sort of protection sphere of some kind, but hey, it was not what got your attention immediately.
Yeah.
There's more to explore in this room, but there were a couple things that immediately got your attention. But yes, you have just discovered this book. You have acquired the diamond dust in this large sack, the serene silver ingot. You see the vials of Fossick. What does the party like to do?
I want to roll to see if I know what book that is.
Instantly, I'm grabbing this book.
Kaizen, just like...
I'm like trying to like disguise it a little bit by like reaching and grabbing everything. I hand like the diamond dust to Eterna who's with us. It's useful to you. I'll put the book away.
To remind everyone, it was Chuck, Kaizen, and Chell working on this
Yeah.
safe. So everyone has those three. I will say have the immediate right to know what this book is, probably.
Yeah.
Or get a look at it. But Kaizen immediately grabs it.
Yeah, I want to know what
Okay,
little
so-
Mr. Mans over here is trying to...
You can roll history for me.
History... Alright.
Kaizen, you already rolled history
Come on,
previous
come on.
session.
Ooh, that's a 24.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Oh, damn. So we're getting spicy in here.
You just browse the banned book list and you're like,
I like to think it's, her dad gave her unrestricted access to his, library or, articles or whatever, and she just, was reading it one day and just oh, a banned book list. What's on here? Oh, I think I've read that one. That's so funny.
So
I don't know what this one is.
you know that this, you saw the title, of course. Okay.
Welcome back to Gone Wrong, the most scuffed podcast. Indie live stream.
I know, right?
But this book you're looking at, you saw it, the Arcane Theory number 3. You were familiar with that title. You have seen it because it did kind of correlate at one point with your research into creatures of
right.
shape changing. But not in the way you would want it to correlate, because it didn't have reference to them. It was just one source that you thought might have the answers, but you weren't sure what was in it because you never got a chance to read it. Because
It's banned.
yeah, only sequestered libraries or some mages here and there might have it secretly, but it is a banned book and highly regulated by not only the mages association of Velstia that controls all the orders of Velstia, all the mage towers, but also the schools of magic and the government. But Arcane Theory number 3, from what you know, is banned because it has theories that are believed to corrupt the efficacy of wizardry magic
as if they had ethics to
in
begin
the modern
with.
age. And that's because, historically, they've lacked the ethics.
You know that if a wizard finally decides that this is unethical, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And maybe throughout some history of the collective, some magic was learned, because magic was changed, as people keep on saying, since the war. The Magic Collective dived into this change and found new ways of using magic and crafting with magic. And some of those magics are not commonly known because they're so dangerous, or believed to be dangerous, that they are kept secret. And this book is said to contain knowledge of those magics which should not be practiced, or at least that's what the government and the Mages Association believes.
OSHA believes.
OSHA believes you should not practice this magic.
OSHA bans this book because it's too dangerous.
And
Workplace safety.
theoretically, some of its theories could lead to even more powerful, less discovered corners of Arcana that the collective used. That some people are paranoid that it could start a new war. The collective could because Arcane Theory number 3 with a 24, you would know that its author wrote 1 and 2, but he's joined the collective because I guess they were on the boundary of new magic,
The cutting edge.
the cutting edge, and that sort of led to this book being seen as even worse, Yeah.
Anyone else gonna check for it?
We're way back here.
You see, yes, Kaizen, put that away really quickly.
And I grab your shoulder. Kaislin,
Yes.
darling,
Tana, you want some diamond dust?
is that Arcade Theory number 3?
I try to silence you really quickly.
Have I ever heard of Arcane Theory?
Can I silence them
It's
all?
Obviously, I wouldn't know like every.
Well, Chell
book.
doesn't whisper it, so.
Can I
You
block them
whisper
off
it?
like as there's like they okay, Arcane 3, yeah, but can I block
I'll
them
say,
on-
know what?
I'll say
No.
make a dex
No,
check.
can I whisper it?
If you feel like you want to keep it quiet, then
Yeah, I'm gonna menacingly whisper it in
Okay,
Kaislin's
so
ear.
go ahead and make just a stealth roll with advantage, sure.
Kaislin, dear.
Is that arcade theory number 3?
Okay. That's a 10. I don't know what I'm
Am
doing.
I
can.
rolling for
So I
this?
don't
What if
know
I
where-
just telepathically say it to you?
Yeah, you've already whispered it.
I mean,
That's
hey.
true, it's already rolled.
Yeah. We're, if something is done, we're gonna do it, right?
I'm still gonna try to.
I will
stealth
say
them.
this. There's something that surprises me here. Something that shocks me as a DM.
What?
Indigo has the highest insight out of anyone in the group.
Why is
Oh.
that shocking?
Because Haven
You're,
doesn't.
you're 5 years old.
I mean, yeah, she's 5 years old.
I tell it how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just say that you pick up that there was something that they found there that was really surprising. You know, that's all. That's all you pick
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, just telepathically now. Did you just try to silence me?
Don't say it out loud.
Okay.
What'd you
listen.
find over there?
I kind of
Just
turn
something.
around. I hold up the little bag,
Look at all this diamond dust we found.
like 600 gold worth.
It's crazy.
Why don't you roll persuasion with advantage?
Wait, do you want me to roll?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Wait, what's your persuasion?
1 plus 1.
Okay, mine's +2.
Are we using my passive or do I have to roll?
You could roll insight.
Because
That was a nat 20 and then it hit the side. 10.
Advantage, right?
Oh, advantage. You're right.
Because now that you'd be curious, you have to roll.
No, why do you have advantage?
10. Because there's both of
they're
us.
working
Oh.
together on this.
I would have disadvantage because I'm still poisoned.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah, you're still poisoned.
Bro, Kaizen's
What am
sweet.
I
So if
rolling?
you get
Insight?
higher than a 10,
Am I rolling insight?
Yeah.
Don't question the
I
fact
have
that a
plus
warforged
8
is
to
poisoned.
insight. Even at disadvantage, I would have to get a 1. Yeah.
Oh.
10.
Would you roll?
I got a 10.
Oh.
Beats it.
Damn.
Okay, so she definitely knows something else is there, but obviously you're trying to distract.
Yeah.
Like, she's aware that you're trying to distract. She doesn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what it is, you
Yeah.
know? Eterna will sort of be like, we could definitely use that diamond dust for something.
Here, Atena, why don't you hold this dust? And I telepathically say, Kaislin, I know what that book is. I want to read it.
What else she
Don't
find?
say anything.
I won't.
You can't speak back to her telepathically.
right.
No, you can like whisper to me though.
I was gonna give like a little nod. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
What
There's
else did you find?
Also,
But you're not reading that alone. Like, you are not reading that alone. Because
Hello?
you get a stink eye.
every single time that you do something
What are you
that is
scheming about?
There's just like this silence.
just
I know you can speak telepathically.
silence.
Kel.
I can't.
Okay, every time that you do something
Eterna grabs the diamond
by
dust.
yourself, I leave for 5 minutes and I don't do something.
Where did
I'm
Kaisa
not
put
with
the
you.
book?
In his bag.
You try to do something that will get you in trouble. And if you didn't do that, I wouldn't be talking to you know what right now.
Are you really not going to tell me what you found?
I'm gonna reach back into the safe and I'll pull out the ingot of serene silver as well.
I mean, it was such a close persuasion roll. She's still gonna be curious.
Yeah, she's gonna
Yeah.
be curious.
I'm casting detect thoughts.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Do I need to roll like
Well, to like find the
stealth or-
truth, you.
stealth or something?
Yeah, if you want to keep it quiet. Do you want
Yeah.
to?
While they're like,
Oh, so you want them to not.
Michelle's
know.
like, and Kaisa's like, oh, I found serene silver.
So canonically, we've always joked that you play a whistle quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
it's-
like hum.
So go ahead and roll stealth if you're trying to keep it under wraps. As Eterna does come over and
Still
grabs the bag of diamond
disadvantage,
dust.
but
The serene
still.
silver.
Oh, I'm pretty good at stealth.
You can use that serene silver to just beat up an angel with an ingot.
Oh,
12.
It's passive perception versus the 12, so.
It beats it.
Oh, it beats yours?
I mean, my passive perception's a 10. I have an 11 intelligence,
What's
or
your
11
chalice?
wisdom.
I think the chalice is also a 10.
yeah, 10.
Alright, I cast Detect Thoughts, and I want to read Kaizen's surface thoughts, so I can probably hear her speaking, right?
Well, I would say you pick up the tail end.
You
of
hear
that,
the end of a cello being like, I wouldn't be talking to you know what if you actually had a fucking brain cell.
Yeah, yeah, you pick up that.
If you had the audacity to at least think before you act,
Okay, so you.
then you wouldn't be in this situation.
And mentally, Kaizen's just like, why can't you just be quiet for a little bit? And Indigo's already looking at us. They're already suspicious.
What
Shut
did
up.
you actually find, Kaizen? Does he think of what he found?
I think he thinks that I don't want to tell her, right? Or like, to be clear.
Don't put
Thoughts
a little
in his head.
mental image of the book.
When it comes to your surface thoughts, that
What'd you actually find?
The book.
It's like constantly, we cannot tell her. Like look over at.
I can't let her know I found a banned book.
okay, so it's like we can't tell her. That's what.
Like we can't tell her, and it's like looking over at a Chell and trying to think if they're gonna let it slip or not.
He's clearly trying
Okay.
to avoid his mind.
Are you serious?
Okay, you know what?
This is making me really worried.
It's not anything truly horrible. It is.
Then it shouldn't
It's-
matter if you tell us.
Okay, you know what?
No, because
Why
like
not?
mentally.
Why not?
Okay, he's not in his right mind right now.
You're right.
Why
you know
wouldn't you tell us?
What's a Turner and Chuck doing right now?
The Turner's just like weighing the bag of diamonds. Chuck sadly did not notice any of this stuff I rolled. Chuck's just like,
You looking around or something?
he's like looking at you too. He's just like, I don't care either way.
You're so right. He
I don't
would
know
say
what that
that.
is.
You're so
Yeah.
real.
Black hair, looks great.
I telepathically tell you, Indigo, it's a specific book that I don't know why Kaizen wants to read it, but it's a book that might have more information on different shape changes in it.
What? No, what is it?
It also has a bunch of. It also has a bunch of other evil coded magics in it.
Is that telepathic shell?
Yes.
That's so funny.
It's a visual that we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you keep it a secret?
Because it's a
Because
coded
okay, it's
book.
because you like to
Americans.
hear and you like to talk about things, and if you tell Rosalie, they're going to fucking kill me
You think she's not gonna find out?
because you know now.
Yeah, because you're bad at hiding it.
What about
I
the
feel terrible, and I could still tell that you were like, oh, hee hee hee.
I mean,
I look at yourself right now.
raging with
Your
horror.
pants are falling off.
You receive a message, guys.
I'm close enough to message you now to let you know that I'm getting a little closer. So whatever mess you're in, you may want to clean it up. Because I can tell you're off your normal standing. So, fix it.
Also,
It's
why,
not something I can fix.
Oh, you're fucked.
also, why would you hide that from us when I'm made of weird, spooky magic?
That is true. It could have something about in it.
Weird spooky magic.
It might.
Yeah, imagine that.
I think it's useful. You know what? I think it's useful. I think we should read it.
Why don't you just crack it open right now?
Not right now.
Why not?
Well,
You definitely don't get to read it.
by himself.
You've got, like... You need to figure yourself out first.
Gaislin, she's kind of right.
Who knows what
Figure what out exactly.
emotional state you're in right now that you could do with, like,
Evil cursed
spooky,
magic.
forbidden
With his
magic.
underdeveloped, he doesn't have.
We're not going to read it right now, but later.
Okay.
I don't think you get to
You
hold on
start to
to
hear
it.
Here.
walking down the hallway.
Oh, is that Rosalie?
with
Give.
hoof beats.
Rosalie,
Kaizen.
we're in here.
Oh shit!
Kaislin, give it to me. Give the book to me, Kaislin.
No, do you still have to detect thoughts up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, like, panic. At this point, I'm ignoring its shell. Not because I'm trying to ignore them, but I hear hooves of Rosalie, and I am panicking right now. Not even because of the book anymore.
Oh, he's afraid of what Rosalie's gonna do. Rosalie, I
do you
go.
think
I
that
go
we
out
should
there.
do then?
Yeah,
Give
you
me the
see
book.
Rosalie and Finith, as Finith's just not floating. He's not walking anymore.
So we can hide it and you don't have it and Rosalie doesn't have another thing to make fun of you for.
Caislin's in a bit of a vulnerable situation right now,
Fine.
I feel
reading it
terrible
later.
Okay.
but just don't make it worse, please.
I didn't think this far.
Reappears next to Kaislin.
Just you'll find out. Come on, you can come in now.
Okay.
You know what I'm gonna do actually? Is I'm just gonna morph around the book and just
I will say, as this is the first time you've done this, it feels like heartburn. It's like something's there that shouldn't be.
what's up?
We just came back.
You. What in the hell's happened to you all?
Oh, the pastries are done.
We ran into some
Do we wanna
rotten
come upstairs?
cockroaches.
I'm gonna see if Achel is smart enough to think about the scheme that we were thinking of. Yes, thank God.
Tyson's like wanting to say something, but he can't right now.
Where's Finith looking?
Look between you and him, you and him, you and him.
I just kind of like, as I'm morphing, I'm like, heartburn. I'm like, I look at Kaislin, I look at myself, I look at Kaislin, look at myself, and I'm like, oh, okay. I think,
Finith signs in giant to you.
what's he saying?
He starts like twisting his fingers.
It's been a while, what is he saying?
Whatever it is, the pseudo dragon wouldn't probably recognize it. It's just a dragon. If you don't say it, nothing is ever seen.
Okay. Telepath to Kaislin. Alright. Do you want to be the only one that's like this? Because I can transform myself and say like it's both of us. Okay. And I just morph down into the thing.
Into the thing?
Yeah, into the thing.
What is wrong
Do we,
with
guys
do, we,
know.
do we want to go to break or do we want to change over?
One second. So, you can't see any of this. Ori has a sense of confusion and disrecognition that just like hits you, as Ori for a moment only recognizes Kaizen by his smell.
Like covered.
And now, like, there's like this weird uncertainty of whatever the fuck is going on in here. Also, there's like a sense of dragon here that Ori keeps on alerting on. Like, Ori's alerting on a dragon thing in the room. An arm. Apparently, there's a dragon arm in here. Yeah. What? They came from a circus, it appears. Something like that happened.
So
faucet magic.
problems.
Are you going to tell us what happened at CockCon?
Well, a lot.
I think it's time to change it over, right?
Yeah.
Switch
Yeah,
to
go
Bella.
and switch
Change
it
to
over.
this one when we tell you part 2.
To part two.
Part 2.
Part 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a lot of things happened while you were away. And
Are their voices changed?
yes.
Much lower.
Yeah.
And some are kind of
Tired.
cracking.
Cracking.
This one's kind of cracking.
Yeah. So wild magic things happen.
There was a bunch of little cockroaches that brought them
What did I tell you outside?
corrupted faucet.
Cockroaches and wild magic.
Wait. She's gonna come closer to Kaislin and just be like,
No. I'm like moving away.
She beelines it for you.
Make a grapple check.
We're in a metallurgical laboratory with a dragon hand.
Rosalie, be careful. There's like totally faucet needles behind you.
Rosalie trips into the needles.
Acrobatics. Oh, that was cocked.
It's athletics for you, Rosalie.
Oh, athletics?
Yeah.
You probably get it.
That's an 8. No, that's an 18, sorry.
Oh no, you definitely got it. I was about to say, if it's an 8, I might actually beat you.
Like,
no.
Kaizen, you try to run away, but like, you're where you tied up your like pants, they kind of slip down again. You slide on it, and you almost like fall down. And Rosalie, you like grab him by like the shirt, and it's so loose now.
It is a lot shorter.
and he's a lot shorter.
You're smaller than me!
He also stinks. He's like sweating way more often.
You're like a child. Oh, you're so small. Is this what you were like when you were a little kid?
Can you let go of me?
He's like 14.
I guess you'll have to call a babysitter now.
No.
Oh, so he's not actually shorter than Rosalie. Boo.
He's like, yeah, he's a little taller than you actually, because he's 4'6". He's 5'6" now. He's 5'.
Oh, he's 5'6".
Well, no, you got 2 inches from.
No, he was 5'4",
He was
and then he
5'4",
became
and
5'6".
That's yeah. So you're 5'6" right now.
He's still a foot taller than her.
Ha.
He did his Kaizen thing where he shot lightning bolts off and caused explosions because he shot it at rotten faucet crystal, and he became like that among other things.
It cut the edge, and Chuck hit it too.
Oh.
Not with a
I think-
lightning bolt, he didn't.
He still used magic.
I mean, she does have like a point. And I'm here like this for support.
Oh, so you didn't even get transformed. You're just trying to make him feel better about the fact that he's a child.
She's
Yes.
a shape changer.
I'm a shape changer. And I think it's kind of fun to, to roleplay. Bing! Hey, come on, it's fun!
If you do take notice, she is shorter. Everyone, she's shorter. So wow, short child.
You know, maybe,
Yeah, she could tell that you're not nearly as high up as you normally sound.
maybe it'll go away when we go to sleep.
That's what we were like hoping for.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
It also gave
What?
me a real headache.
kinda
Literally.
happened. So, for a while, nothing actually happened with it, and then I got. Would I know where I got sent?
You have a theory. Yeah, you
I
have a theory.
think I got thrown into the astral sea.
You left that part out?
What?
You saw me disappear. I was still trying to figure it all out. Kind of got thrown into the astral sea. A devil appeared, tried to throttle me. I shot him with the coin that killed him by going through his chest. I got brought back. I used his ashes to cast a spell.
Rosalie, I think he's on the verge of tears. Give him a second.
They got brought back to the
Is
astral
this
sea.
why you said you weren't
Guys,
sure
I know
if he
you
was still
literally
on the
don't
plane or
like
not, and then said, no, he's definitely here?
He was bouncing around for a little bit.
Oh.
You know, statistically, you have to be the most unlucky person ever. But this is
roll in
really
the
great
line.
comedy.
Yes, this is...
And then I got brought back, and then I got sent back again.
We're just
This
gonna.
is giant
What?
At least you didn't
meteor
instantly
with.
die.
We're only gonna mess with this after we take a long rest.
Yeah.
'Cause maybe it'll just go away.
Maybe
hope so.
we can go back up to the room, maybe for a little bit, and let you guys figure out
There is a dragon hand over there, though.
And a bunch of needles next to a bunch of vials of Fossick. And a chair.
Oh.
Which implies other things.
Yeah.
Which means there's total faucets in here.
Is the
Your
Fossick rotten Fossick, or is it regular Fossick?
regular.
No,
regular.
Unrefined.
This is primed, unrefined Fossick over here.
You an expert on Fossick?
Just an assumption.
Are you able to?
Would you like to try?
Are you able to handle Fossick
It's a
Finis
safe
without triggering it?
Huh?
Are you able to handle Fossick without triggering it?
I mean, as long as it's not in the open air.
Could you possibly take that and put it somewhere safe so then it's not something we have to worry about?
I think moving it risks the chance of accidentally breaking the vial.
No, that's true.
As Chuck well knows.
It's not. If it's not refined Fossick, it's not as dangerous.
I mean, they've been in these slots for a couple decades now. Who's to say they're not? You take one out and they just unscrew. You know?
Yeah, don't. Yeah, how about let's go back to the room.
I'm more interested in what this bubble is over here.
Yeah, me too.
What?
We can get into
Bubble?
it tomorrow.
That's where the dragon
There's
is.
Okay, you didn't say there was a bubble around. Did you just say
there's
there was a
a
dragon?
sphere of abjuration that was a safety device that trapped the hand reaching for this weird coffin thing in there.
Yeah, I think
that
one
cut
of the
its arm off and
dragons-
sealed it in time.
One of the dragons that was attacking, right?
Uh-huh.
I think he was reaching for whatever that box is in there, and then it triggered like an anti-time or stasis or something, and his hand got stuck in there.
Do we have any lead?
Okay.
Oh,
Is this safe?
Did you You got some lead, the little...
Oh, right.
How
Rock
much
thing.
lead are we talking?
Well, what does lead do with magic?
This.
Well, you just gonna throw it in there? Like,
I could throw it.
Well, if it's magical, lead shouldn't interact with it, right?
Yeah, if you put the little
was-
pod on it, just try to see
Was
if that
the
would stop.
safe that we cracked open lead?
Well, you want to check? Make an
you're
investigation.
gonna make
Yeah.
like a fishing
Well, I
line
have
out
this
of it?
little.
Is that a pouch of... Oh, is that a pouch of lead?
No,
No,
it's literally
It's a lead... Is that a nugget? What is that?
So this thing was in the stomach of the lead knight that we killed. Remember when you saw me dissect it?
Oh, yeah.
This is what I got out of its
So-
I
stomach.
gotta impress
Trevor. That's a nat 20 plus 8. That's a 28.
Bruh.
Well, as you're pondering that, I will say... you'll have to figure out how this is gonna work. But the safe is not lead. But there is something in here that is lead. There is a pole arm,
Oh, perfect.
a weapon, a lead weapon, like bow staff that's made out of lead.
Just smack the box.
It's literally like laying up against this corner around these tools, and you think this may have been what it was used for. It's a long arm to reach into magic that doesn't interact with magic. You know, you realize you didn't really immediately recognize it though, because it's lead and has oxidized over time. It's become very dull, and it's covered in this like dust grime, but it is lead. And you just spot it as you look at the safe. You pick it up right there, and next to these other tools that have lost their wear in time. But before we continue, we're gonna go to break. We'll be back in a bit. See you soon. Hey, welcome back. So, what just happened? Oh yeah.
Weird
Yeah,
shit.
you-
Rosalie's like, what
Rosalie-
the fuck are you guys talking about?
Keith just walked in and found out that Kaizen is not himself.
14 years
14.
He's 14 years old.
The little guy.
He can count. He's 14 years old.
I'm 14. Let me count it for you.
Yeah. And Chell is also smaller now, too. And
She's
What-
the emotional support.
She didn't want Kaislin to be by himself.
what you don't know necessarily yet is that the troll is hiding something.
Oh yeah.
You know? But yes,
She's got her big, like, you know, the little cloak thing that she has. It's a lot bigger now
It's
because she's
14-year-old.
small. But, like,
Yeah.
it's covering the, like, obviously book-shaped
like
chest piece.
Yeah.
that when she was older, she could hide with her boobs,
Yeah.
but now is like, oh,
Shaw.
Flat as a board, am I right?
but flat as a book. Flat as a banned book.
But yes, the party is in the rear back laboratory, and Kaizen, while looking to see if the safe was made of lead, found that there was a lead polearm in here used for experimentation that is covered in that powder-like grime of it's oxidized.
There you go.
It's clean.
No, not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
A bald man shows up. No,
I
yeah.
don't think that's the right.
No, Mr. Clean. It's not. Wait, no, you're
No,
right.
you're right. No, that's the wrong one.
Sorry. I don't know if they have a
Wow.
mascot. Okay. Anyways, yeah, you're here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of pull this out. I'm gonna go over to the bubble.
Oh,
Oh, who's letting him do things?
he found a big stick. Just let him play with it.
I'm gonna stick it through the bubble. And I'm
Aren't you
gonna,
trying to keep him alive?
I mean, he's not gonna.
I'm not the
Maybe he
adult
will kill
anymore.
He
himself.
blew his arm off. Earned himself 14.
If he's just a
Poisoned
torso.
me, by the way.
I mean, it's your
Kaizen.
problem.
yeah,
What are you doing?
I gotta take the stick
Could
and
be
I
your
put it into the
problem.
bowl.
Kaizen.
It blows us up.
I don't put my hand up. I put the stick in the bowl.
Okay, so you're testing this out. He put the stick towards the bubble, and this lead stick. By the way, how strong do you think you are at 14?
Stronger. No kidding.
This polearm probably weighs about 15 pounds. At least. It's. I mean, like this thing's solid lead.
Holding that out
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
just your little scraggly.
I'm probably not holding it at the very
arm.
end. I'm probably closing it, holding it just slightly below the middle.
To be clear, this isn't a DC.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Oh yeah.
You know? And
Strength is
you
probably
might need help.
little.
Just let someone else
Little
do
lower.
it, Kaizen.
yeah, you're 14. It's lower.
Yeah, just a little bit lower, but I'm still gonna test it out.
So you all see. Well, not all of you see, but some of you see. You all witness. Kaizen brings the pole up, and the pole like seems to go in this bubble a bit, but it like almost like you're bobbing something on water that floats. It pushes off it doesn't go in completely. Lead normally does not interact with magic at all. This thing is having trouble interacting with magic. Or it's partially interacting with it, which should be the case with lead.
I'm like gonna look, because I still have detect magic up. I'm looking closer at this bubble. Is there anything, like any small differences or anything else I sense?
I mean, the aura kind of bends with the pole, and so the magic is responding to the pole, which, like I said, is not normal for lead weaponry and lead materials, as far as you witnessed. You know?
Anything different about the lead? Is there any magic on it?
It's not magical, but with an investigation roll, go ahead and go ahead and make a new roll for me. Do you have any proficiency in alchemy or anything like that?
No, I would just have kind of osmosis by what I've heard through her.
Yeah, I
Through
think so. I would just say roll d20 for me then. You can make an intelligence check, so I hear intelligence modifier.
It's not great. It is a 11.
Something's different here, and like it's got to be some sort of reaction with the material. You don't know at first. You think it could be the weather around you. It might be the situation or the bubble.
Maybe it's because it's oxidized?
Do they water
wouldn't
down the
know.
lead?
But you know,
And what
it
we're
is
seeing-
proficient in alchemy.
We're all seeing this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is going through. It's just
So it goes in and it pushes back out like a bobbing thing on water.
Is it long enough to
It's
like
like-
reach the box?
Yes. By the way, you guys haven't really like examined the box yet, but it's like attached to the ground by some sort of like chassis, like claw system. So it's like a vampire coffin tilted like at an angle, you know. And there's like wiring pipes and stuff that go to it. So it's like it's like a chest of something.
Evan, are you not strong enough to do that? You should maybe have Chuck do it.
the magic's actually pushing on the lead.
But that's not how it usually interacts.
No!
Can I try
That's,
to
like,
send my
weird.
mage hand in there just to see what happens?
You cast your mage hand, and as soon as you cast it in, it freezes in time and space in the bubble.
Can I make a roll to see, to think about like lead and how it interacts with stuff and see if she can think of anything?
Alchemy.
Roll d20, add your proficiency modifier. Your DC is different than everyone else's. 'Cause you're
Maybe it's
proficient
a
in
lead
alchemy.
alloy.
I feel like it's because it's oxidized.
Girl, you had such great rolls before.
I know, I got a 2 plus 3, so 5.
Something's in the air, guys. Something's in the air, and the pollen count's low.
Bleach.
You know. So I gotta be honest. Like you're like there is something different here. You just aren't certain about anything. It could be the oxidized characteristics. It could be the level of lead. It could be an alloy. It could be a certain material. It could be the way that Kaizen's interacting with it, or it could just be the air of the room. You know.
I have a few theories. I'd have to test the object itself to see. It could be. You said it was oxidized.
Yes.
It could be that. It could be alloy. It could be. Honestly, it might be the fact that it's time magic as well, because I don't know how time magic interacts with lead.
Hey Finn, what do you know about lead alloys?
Or time magic.
Or time magic?
What do I know?
But I don't know anything about time magic, actually.
Well, before you ask that,
Yeah.
I will say you have the highest passive investigation, and even with your state as you are now,
Yeah.
your
18.
brain being very scatterbrained due to all those hormones, you would be able to tell that the thing that's the orb is centered around the case coffin object. It is a power source within there that is charging this orb. It has retained its position for decades now. So obviously there's a source of magic that is, you can't outlast it, maybe. You know, you can't wait for it to turn off. So obviously there has to be some sort of switch or some way to turn it off. Either it's in the bubble, around the machinery, or it's outside the bubble somewhere.
2 questions. I know that, like, is there any magic coming into this? Like, I know there's been Fossick pipes. Is there any kind of source of Fossick flowing into this thing, or is it looking self-contained?
There's faucet in the floor. There's pipes in the floor, and it's very slow moving, I gotta be honest. You sense it a little bit weaker here, and you have a feeling that might be either because the center object is drawing so much of this Fossic energy, or it runs on its own system. Maybe the latter.
Could I do an investigation check to see if there's any notes or writings or anything that refers to this specific thing, like how to turn it off, how to interact with it?
Absolutely, go ahead. Roll investigation for me.
I did want to look around for
swing
any
at that
kind of
with
notes.
like a
You can join her in investigation roll.
I'll give you advantage.
Oh, thank you. That was a net one.
I'm also going to investigate the.
That was another net one.
Shut up.
I just got 2 net
Do you have a
ones.
point of inspo?
I do. Are you saying I should use it? I'm not using the bouncy die. That bounced off of my thing twice.
This could be a good roll. Just saying.
Okay, fine. I'll use my point of inspiration.
Please do not be another one.
It'd be funny, actually. I kind of.
Statistically, that's so huge.
19 plus 5.
Oh, it's
Okay.
so much better.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
It was.
You were rolling so well.
For once, the inspiration actually was great.
I know.
So, while Finith is thinking, while you guys are pondering on
Mark
things,
that off.
Finith is like thinking, time magic. Lead alloys.
One of those 4 degrees helping you.
Let me check my 4 degrees. 1 second.
Oh, hey guys, I found a manual.
I know how to open the blender.
I know how to screw the blender cap off.
Check this out. Okay, once I'm checking something. Oh gosh, where'd it go? I had it written down.
You know, I don't believe he actually has 4 degrees.
Don't say that to his face, bro.
You don't think his clown degree is real?
Yeah. I don't know if clownery is a real degree.
Well, I mean, if it is, you'd also have the degree.
Clownery, jester, tomfoolery, and
cooking.
yeah.
He tried so hard.
Indigo. No offense, but you're bad.
Yeah. I would say I have a degree in clownery.
Mr.
Go 5 years.
Where's your journal, by the way? Oh, it's over there.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I guess it's not there. I'll just go ahead and use this one. Yeah. Okay, cool.
What is he about to do?
Why do you need his journal? Why?
Because he has some papers in there that I gave him a while back, and I'm trying to find something in my notes. It's probably one of those papers, but I don't need to really worry about it because I can just cuff it off the cuff, you know? Like,
So this
let
one.
me see that paper.
You don't have every possible
the
note on
letter.
every. The letter?
The letter that we found in like episode 1.
Yes, it was.
And it was. It didn't
Why
have
do you need
auto
that
in it,
right
didn't it?
now?
Checking something.
Names, maybe.
No.
It was talking about like how they need more Fossic to find the giant
The
artifact
frost
that was
blade.
in there.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm guessing he was using a name in there or something to look for, search for something else.
I'm gonna whisper this to you.
Oh
I find
god.
some paperwork that like you
Does
have
that
to.
include me?
Don't look at my non.
Does that include me?
It's probably a joke, Krish.
I was looking too.
Here, do you
Come
want to
here.
write it?
Here, no.
Okay. Here.
Say talk.
Talk.
So I'm just gonna cover it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cover my ears for this.
I said
The girls are talking. Can't hear them though.
I was transporting it, but then they talk about it like a prisoner, and
They're whispering.
it's a prison shape, and it's like disgusting.
And the 2 wizards somehow are never the ones to get the secrets.
Yeah.
You'd think we went to school, we'd be better at this.
Somewhere, but that part's kind of worn out of the letters. They call it
That was the Warlock and the Bard.
Yeah.
but that's about it.
The clowns.
It seems like they've experimented with this thing.
They're both performing art majors.
Yeah.
And now it's.
With SES majors, nothing's a mystery to us.
Oh.
But it was like.
Okay, but there's a manual.
Are we good?
You find the paper.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all.
Y'all. Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Okay.
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 Okay. Do we do that? Chell, I guess. Are you looking too?
Yeah.
I guess we're looking at all this, right? And I was just like,
Do we want to mess with this?
I don't know.
I will say it was like something that doesn't seem done,
Okay.
and it doesn't seem like
Like it was in the process of being a
Yeah.
thing, but the thing happened.
Yeah, and like
The
they were still talking theoretically about how to tell it to do stuff, how to control it, how to do this, how to do that.
Hey,
you know?
Chuck, would you want to try taking the lead pipe and just hitting it like a baseball?
No, don't do that.
Don't damage it.
Because, like, what if it's like.
Just give us a second.
I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm gonna go, because I know that when we walked to this room, you said there's 4 magical sources in here. One was this sphere.
Do we
What are the
tell
other
them?
3?
I mean, yeah.
Take faucet vials.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah, the 3 separate faucet vials.
So, like, we just read all these things. There is a high likelihood that there's a person in there, and they're being used as a battery for something.
Person?
I will also say that it is magical, and you also have read of people being able to dispel certain magics.
Which I just got.
How about, could you try dispelling it?
I would
Instead
have
of-
to wait for tomorrow.
And there's a switch that we can use the pipe to hit.
Yeah.
Does it say where the switch?
Does it say?
Yes.
It's right there.
It gives you an idea. That pole, yes, it is a bow staff, but on the end, it's kind of. There's almost like a segment where it's meant to be like a key.
Yeah.
And it's like you push it into a hole and you turn it.
And what else do these notes actually say?
You make reference to them talking about acquiring something called a servitor. They discuss the servitor like an object. They talk about it also in reference like it's a
Can I see
prisoner.
that?
Servitor transport.
Yeah, servitor transport.
But they also discuss about it like it's a prisoner. Like it's a person that they don't consider a person, or it was an enemy captured. They make reference to a lord of silver or a silver lord or something like that, and this being a knight of the silver or something like that. But they also talk about how they've changed it and have hopes that they can find ways to control it to maybe end the reign of the Silver Lord and the other ones like him. Like this.
Could I roll history to see if I know anything about a Silver Lord?
You may.
Okay.
Roll history.
Your history or
I would say
religion?
this would have to be disadvantage for you though.
Would I
Are
be able
you-
to as well?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you guys saying any of this out loud?
Not you, cousin.
No.
I feel like I would.
This isn't Velstian.
Okay.
Can I
really.
roll?
Come on. 13.
No. This is definitely something that you would have heard in stories.
Yeah, 13. It was a dirty 20, but disadvantage 13.
13. This is something that was, Silver Lord. It could reference a piece of armor. You know, metals have symbology and all the time.
Silver is often associated with angels.
Yes. So it could be that. It could be.
Dragon.
It could be a dragon. It could be ghostly. That silver is sometimes like a metal used to kill the undead. You know, it's like all this. But it was clear that that was an enemy of the Melodic Collective.
Vampire.
And this is a person, monster, or object they took and tried to convert into a weapon to
Okay, so it
kill
was
their master.
From whoever this was.
Yeah, this was a prisoner apparently, or an item or something.
Did they talk about it like it was a living being?
The Melodic Collective maybe references that, but doesn't give it. It almost feels like they don't give it the right to be considered a.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they wouldn't give it humanity.
They wouldn't give it to
Like,
humanity.
Is it a humanoid?
Because what they were doing to it might have been easier if they didn't consider it a humanoid at that point. But this was also probably an enemy of the collective.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, an enemy of an enemy is our friend.
Hopefully.
And whatever is in here should be released.
It seems like they weren't finished.
We don't know if it's dead or alive. It might be alive because of the whole time magic, but
If it's being powered off it though.
It could also not be able to sustain itself and it'll just die.
we need a way to talk to it. But the only thing I can think of is like,
Magic probably won't be able to get through.
Can I try detect thoughts? See if I can sense anything.
Oh,
from
you
in
still
there?
have it up.
yeah.
No, it's only a minute.
Oh.
I would have to cast it again.
Would you like to cast it?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna
that
cast
was
it again.
Could I try to speak to it telepathically while she does that?
You may.
Well, they can't talk back.
I know, but if I reach into something, that gives me a sign if there is
If you can
a
make a
mind
connection.
there.
Yeah, if you can make a connection to a
We'll say
mind.
sure, yeah.
Hello, like, hello. Is anyone in there?
You don't know if you can reach past the orb.
Darn it.
What about my detect thoughts?
I will say you don't normally feel this, but there is a noticeable gap in the detection range
Okay, so
where
I can't
you
get
can't
through it.
you can't breach it, or there is no thoughts coming out of it. But
I mean, if time
you do
is...
detect something else, Indigo. You have a special connection to spirits, and every once in a while you'll feel faint thoughts sometimes. But you've only started to pick it up because you don't usually travel in places of mass death. But here, you feel the whispers of thoughts that linger with the dead. And there are spirits here. Just for fun fact. Just for fun fact.
Fun fact.
You could
Come
speak to the spirits.
I'm the like.
I mean, if the time is stopped in there, then the creature wouldn't have any thoughts because time would also be stopped for them.
Oh, that's true.
It's no doubt a ward of abjuration and conjuration and all this junk, and some sort of tampering with the resilient sphere spells that exist in the higher magedom. So, good luck.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
I'll hand him the rod, the letter rod. There's a switch, like,
You're right there.
Right there.
Right there. Can you press it?
He kind of like takes it over.
Largest man in Hythea.
He's gonna start pushing in, and you can see the bubble almost like bends with the metal pole, and the metal pole kind of goes in, and then whoop, comes out. Yeah, no, do we have any little? You grab that lead nut thing. I could try to hit it.
What if I?
Yeah, try touching it just to the ward and see if it reacts the same as it does with the...
Just like
We'll poke it in.
So that ball goes perfectly through. At least
What
when
if-
your fingers touch it.
it might
and
be
then
the
Wait.
oxidation.
hold on. Can I wrap my finger around it?
You don't want to
Don't.
do it.
you don't want to do it halfway because you need this.
It's been in my hand before. I'm fine.
No, I
No,
mean,
no,
your
you
finger's
Put
going
your
to get
finger in
stuck.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, if
I-
you do, you feel like it's like
Hold
almost
on.
like molasses.
I have an
No.
idea. I'm gonna take the.
Take this to the end of it,
Well,
the end of the stick, and then we use the stick and it pokes it because it has spiky ends.
I was
I
just
was actually going... Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, I don't think the stick's gonna be able to
the
get
stick when it go through. It's still good.
You would just
Alternatively,
stick it
I'm
in
gonna
there.
take this stick, and I'm gonna very quickly. I'm going to be casting deconstruct, and I'm just gonna get the top layer of oxidation off it.
Oh, good idea.
The one.
Yes, actually, no. It's lead. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never mind.
Bad
You probably have to
idea.
use a non-magical process.
How could you think of that? That's a dumb idea.
Do we have any baking soda? Baking soda and vinegar?
Well, an alchemist would know that oxidized metal can sometimes be cleaned with acid.
Does she have
The
acid?
alchemy jug.
The alchemy just produce it. You just didn't mention it.
Just kind of scrub it down.
You have the alchemy jug, right?
Yes.
Give.
Give.
Thank you. Do one of you have like a rag or something I can borrow and something to cover my hand with?
I imagine a turn that's just like, "Gee."
Here you go. One of
We
my-
have like a million
There you
in
go.
the bag of holding or
my
something.
5 rags.
Yeah.
500.
And I guess does somebody have like a glove or something of like...
Chuck has a
Thicker material.
smithing glove, but
Yeah,
it's like,
she'll take it.
Yeah.
like if you put it on your hand.
It's huge.
She doesn't
Well,
care.
I
She just
mean,
doesn't want acid on
I
her
also have
hand.
mage hand.
Oh yeah, I have a mage hand.
She's just gonna
Okay.
take the glove,
Look at Prismagik doing
Pop-
their
pop
collective
out-
brain work. You
pop
guys-
out
working
the
it
cork
out.
where the acid is, and just dumps it on the
You didn't
the
even have it in
rag.
the first place.
Okay. Paul.
I want you to do that so we can gif it,
No,
please.
that's exactly why I started
Yeah.
moving other places. So I
So
was
you're
like,
gonna grab
no.
the
Yeah.
pole and then you're gonna grab it. And you're gonna start working
No, you do it, Trevor.
start working.
No,
the
don't
acid.
do it, Trevor.
Yeah.
So,
We
okay.
gift that one.
So as you
Rock
start,
on too.
as you start doing this, this would work all the time with some cases you think, but the oxidization has changed the lead, or at least weakened its response to magic in some weird way that you wouldn't be familiar with. But just experimenting with this, you begin to rub it down and sort of feel this dust just sort of come off the oxidization, clean, soften some areas, and you have to really work it. To be clear, it's been sitting there for a while. But how much can the jar produce of an acid?
I think it's like 2 vials worth.
That would be 2d4, I think, of acid damage.
I think it's actually it's 2d4. It's 2d6 per vial, so that's 4d6.
I need you to roll 4d6 acid damage for me, please.
And I have dice right here if you need.
Oh, well, that's actually pretty good. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3, 15. A little above average.
That is good. Because
She'll
Yeah,
focus on
someone
the
slithers
top half, like the part
Just
where we were trying to
put
poke it in and slowly work her way
snake
down.
mouth
Okay.
And just acid.
that was correct,
Take it
right?
out.
Okay.
2d6.
Okay, so you got the damage you needed, because it would take you some time to clean this if you didn't have enough damage, but this pole arm, you eventually start going down, you all sort of see that it's getting cleaned, and eventually it shines and shows its gray, glistening color. It's lead color. And you can see there's grooves and a gripping area on it that was hidden from the oxidization, but it is clean now. And before you do anything else, as you finish, Finith says, now that it's finished, I maybe just take my words as, what is that saying? The devil's advocate? Yeah. That's really funny. This thing could be a wild machine that could just kill you once you release it. It might not be controlled by anything. This is a risk. Maybe you shouldn't open it.
I know a suggestion now. I don't know. If
Good for you.
We
Thanks.
could keep the rod near the button so we just turn it back on.
Yeah.
And if it's truly a person that's in there, that means they could be reasoned with. And even if they're not, we don't know if it's like an adult either. Could be a child. Could be literally any other creature that other people would deem a monster.
I'm too curious.
We
to
could
not
find out.
open it.
Pick up the rod.
If they
Let
talked
Chuck
about it,
do it, Kazan.
Yeah, I agree. Kaizen, put that down.
Rosalie's gonna back away from the box.
if they talked about it like a servitor, the Mallow Collective had a purpose for it, and if they had a purpose for it, it must have been very dangerous.
They weren't finished, though.
They
It
weren't
seems like it wasn't listening to their commands.
But I bet you anything they used what was in whatever you read in this room to change it.
I know I forgot to ask earlier, but would I know anything about time magic, or at least?
So, chronomancy, as it's sometimes called, but time magic is a very niche form of study, as it's really theoretical. But some people believe it can work. You need to have a certain power, and there are recordings of some people being born with the ability to manipulate time. But it's very rare magic, very rare.
Could just briefly, and I want to do this as just as secret as possible. I want to look at the book. I can get it out of my chest pocket and see if there's any pages that seem to be marked.
As you look through it, roll stealth for me. You're doing this pretty secret.
You just kind of turn around and just.
As Chuck's walking over and picking up the pole and everything.
It's essentially just trying to do it under my thing so that
Your cloak.
and Rosalie can't.
Your back's
see.
turned, too, so it's
16.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to keep the sound down.
Yeah. Essentially just just gonna.
And I mean, even if Rosalie did hear you, it's not like she's suspicious about moving
I have a
papers,
book.
you
Yeah,
know?
I have a book already. So.
But as you're making yourself a little more quiet in the corner, maybe some people pick up that you're flipping a page, but you start looking through it. The book is dense, it's thick with knowledge, there's notes along the pages, so many writings in a hand, that the words in some sections translate before your very eyes using your magic. And you're looking and you're looking. It would take some deep study to understand this, but as you're looking for the page that might be marked, a page that might be in-depthly noted, you flip the book, and all of a sudden it's like it was meant to be. The book just folds up into a page that seems like a page of prominence for whatever was going on. Almost like someone intended to go back to it. Or maybe the book wants you to read it. Let me change the music, shall we?
Yeah, you did something.
What's up with us and cursed
By the
box?
way, I'm gonna
I love
determine a
Christmas.
Are
tale.
you about to have a Kaizen moment?
Let's get a tale
No.
going.
Listen, I had the book. I had to be
Aaron.
like, wait,
Love Aaron.
is there gonna be like things on time magic or angels or something in here? Because there's a serene silver in the thing.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the Bostic. There's the diamond dust. Like, come on, the book has to have some sort of.
I will say, you do also notice that our man Beneath does not want to go near that serene silver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It can beat the crap
I
out of
wonder if
devils.
they were like killing and resurrecting it.
As you look at this page, you find that you understand some of it. I want you to make an Arcana roll though for the whole of it.
God.
You gotta test your real thick Arcana knowledge here.
My +2 Arcana.
We believe in you.
I mean, if whatever was in there
16.
was an enemy of the Metallurgic Collective, it could very well be an ally for whatever the hell is going on now.
Or it might be an enemy to anything it sees.
We don't know.
I'm reading.
I don't want to risk there being somebody in there that needs to be saved.
I mean, if you're still opening it,
I think I'll stand in the back just in case.
As you open the book and you look through it, you begin to understand some of it. It's some of it eludes you, but with an 18, you get a 16, you get a grasp of it. This section of the book, it's talking about something strange, something called carnomancy. It's talking about terms like grafted, congealed, form, attached, siphoned, terms that endear the mind to think about combining, melding and shaping, resculpting flesh, resculpting the mind. And you see a diagram of a humanoid, just a generic humanoid, a heart, a mind, and these are like symbolized and marked out, and notes are written next to them, terms implying injection of primary agent, an implantation of the connection collar, a mind-altering device beneath the skull cranium cap, a change in the thought process, a scratch mark here and there describing need more metal, remove flesh, remove remove unnecessary, it's like, and then a term comes up, fabricated potentiality, question mark, like makes you think of fabricant, but there's not a certainty, but it is like similar science maybe.
Wait. Okay, so we learned earlier that the lady that created the Celestials was here on this place.
Yeah, she visited.
What if this is how they made Celestials, and this is a work in progress of a better one?
Maybe.
Because we know that Celestials have to be named Celestials for a reason.
yeah.
They're like metallic angels. I feel like this is all going through Chel's head right
Yeah,
now.
of course.
But I just want to let that be known.
No, of course.
They might just be making a humanoid version of, instead of celestial, it's humanoid.
Yeah.
Of
I was thinking it might be
our predecessor to Indigo as well.
Yeah.
You see
But right
that-
now she was directly tied to the Celestials.
Indigo 1.0.
Yeah.
You seem to pick up a lot of chronomancy, but also necromancy. And you can control the undead through necromancy, and you can use enchantment to control the living, but this is something unliving and living, where you've rebuilt it from death. And
Diamond dust.
that's why the term fabricant or fabricated comes back to mind. The recreation of something that exists. You fabricate a living thing. You fabricate a celestial. You fabricate a creature. They want to fabricate a weapon, it seems, to kill something that's near celestial or closer. And they've used something that's already of that power. Something that was near death or dying or something. It implies that this is like a weakened foe in these notes. There's like sections attached to the book on the side,
that this thing that we're looking at is weakened?
Like, it was weakened and they purposely beat it within an inch of its life or killed it. And then just
Left it here?
brought it back or left it here. You know, some way to control. You're not entirely sure yet, but they used necromancy, this carnomancy to reshape it, rebuild it, but it wasn't complete. They couldn't get this like control pattern to work. They tried things with serene silver, you know. They tried things with enchantment. It seems they tried all these things. It's a connection. There's some sort of thing they call a connection that keeps it tethered too strongly, too bound to an oath. But it looks like they were gonna get onto another like experiment that might work, but they never got a chance to.
Okay.
I'm standing in the back of the room, by the way.
Alright. What is everyone else doing in this exact moment?
Chuck is like feeling the pull. He's probably checking out if he can fight with it too, you know?
Rosalie's standing a little bit further back near Indigo just because if there's a blast of magic, she wants to be out of the radius.
Only Kaizen.
Yeah, Kaizen's like curious
He's
here.
taking enough magic, you know? He's taking enough radiation this time. He's okay.
You know, if I get hit with more, I might just undo the age.
So I guess we're
That's
just
a fair
waiting
point.
for Chuck to open it up now.
Yeah, because I'm trying to gauge if, like, right as I realize all this, the button's gonna be pressed.
I think
I know, that's
so.
fair. That's a fair point. Chuck will be probably picking up the pole now.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to sort of guide me, Kaizen.
Yes.
Because I'm
You
not
got
entirely
this,
sure how this
Chuck.
mechanic
Woo.
system works.
Yeah, what I could probably do is, like, as he's pushing it in, I could probably hold the back of it to help, like, guide it exactly.
Okay. So you push it in, and you realize now the pole has no resistance against the magic,
Nice.
as it doesn't even care the magic's there. And it goes.
Interesting to know.
All that air.
You will hear this big clunk. And
Maybe we shouldn't.
do you turn it? No.
Am I turning it right as you
It's
say that?
up to you.
Please.
It's not
Please
up to
do
me.
Yeah,
that. That's what I'm planning. That's what
It's
I'm
like,
This can't be up to me.
wait, say it again really quick.
Just don't. Maybe
Come
we
on.
shouldn't do it.
You'll hear
Why?
it all.
Indigo, you might want to back up. Specifically,
Yeah, I'm all the way
you.
back here. Why?
Okay. I think this might be a predecessor to a celestial, a predecessor to Fabrican, something based on these
Afraid of
notes.
that.
At this point, the bubble just disappears, and the arm drops to the ground.
But whatever it is, it's weak. It's not right. Like, it's not correct.
You can all now more clearly see that the room, frozen in time, you couldn't really see it, but the room was filled with this almost like energy, this dust, ash, and this electrified energy, and all that ash just kind of falls to the ground finally, and the last zap of energy just kind of, like a bunch of people were vaporized to get to this. But in the second, it activated. And you see now more clearly on this metal case-like structure, this symbol on it that looks, it's the Metallurgic Collective sort of gripping of the gear symbol, but within the center of the gear, instead of just this drop of like blood, as it normally is, like the blood of their god, it is a pair of like angelic wings, or more like, no, this would be 6 of them. This would be 6 of them, representing a symbol that maybe you don't know the meaning of. And where there wasn't a crease before, there is like a line that sort of appears in the middle of the coffin that just sort of, like the metal just unfuses.
Maybe one of you should try talking to it and let it know that we are not a threat.
Is
and
it?
that we are trying to help.
Didn't immediately open yet.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts again?
I wanted. Can I speak telepathically to it?
You can do that. Try it.
Hello? We're not Metallurgic Collective people?
Detect Thoughts. Any
We're
thoughts
allies?
coming from
You
the
detect. You can first feel their message traveling through the air, and you can then sort of pick up this, like, reception, this pickup, and you don't detect a thought immediately. You detect like a buildup, like a water bubbling, like energy building, like the neurons of the brain is firing. It's
Maybe
waking.
back up Chuck and Kaisley.
Chuck's gonna kind of put his big arm around you guys.
Baby.
Please be
Wait.
careful.
Maybe tell it we are trying to help.
We're trying to help.
You see, or first you hear in the floor as you say that, there's something in the floor that goes...
Rosalie's gonna back up some more towards the doorway. Yeah, where's the doorway? She's gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, the door's like 20 feet back, and
She's starting to back towards the doorway a little bit.
you all hear this as you see from the side of this coffin mist kind of to pour out this air, this stinky mist. It's like dust smelly. Oh, it hasn't been open in years. And all begins to dump out. No response still, but like a hum of a mind, a sentience waking up from a sleep so deep they were dead. And you see the doors just sort of kind of open slightly, and the mist begins to pour out of the crack. They just sort of fly open, and all this air just sort of fills the room. This mist is heavy and thick and hot, and the moisture in the room just instantly jumps. The moisture level jumps.
Oh, it's huge.
And for a moment, you can't see anything. All you can do is hear, sense, and feel. But those who can see quickly see this blue light come on, and a second one come on. A pair of eyes inside a box, and you see, as the mist begins to clear, this hand coming out from it, and you see just what looks like gauntlets of a knight, metal fingers overlaid, but this isn't a gauntlet, it's their hand, just made of metal with what you believe to be in the creases, alloy and flesh, and the other hand just comes out. They begin to pull themselves forward from this box, and the mist follows them. These pipes on their back just sort of come out. These copper, like cylindrical spring-like pipes just sort of bounce back, and they fall onto the ground. They stop on their knees and hands, and this blue light gives you this silhouette, and behind them there's a blue light in the box, and it's silhouetting them. You see these vials, these two massive or like large vials. You've seen some of these before, some of you have. These are two vials of refined Fossick just sitting in the back of this coffin, of this cage, and this figure stands up slowly and comes to their side. Every time they step, it sounds like metal, heavy pounds of metal just stomping on the ground. You feel it shake. You see spiked sides. You see their shoulders like armor. You see a big metal thick tail kind of come to the side. It seems almost bladed near the end, but they stand bipedal, like a humanoid. Mm-hmm. You see near the back, there aren't wings, but there are almost like spikes that come from the back that almost look like they could be wings, and the eyes just glow, and they dim, and they glow.
Is it a humanoid face?
As the fog begins to clear, you see kind of what looks like some sort of metallic dragonborn metal. You see...
That's why the dragon was trying to get in there.
You see like a machine or a person, and you see their armor, their body, this material. It's not silver, it's lead. You see this gray sheen in the light. You see their body's so sharp, they can cut skin. They look at their hands, and every time they move, you just hear the...
Rosalie speaks in Draconic. What did they do to you?
You speak those words, and everyone recognizes those sort of guttural, draconic sounds, and the head kind of drifts over towards you. Just like, there's no expression. The jaw, you can't see it at first, as the mist is still kind of making it foggy here. Ori can't describe it. Ori's kind of put off by it. Mm-hmm. But the eyes look at you, and it's like looking into a creature without a soul for a moment. That's what Ori feels like.
What emotions am I getting off of it? Like, is there any aggression, or is it just, confused?
There's confusion. But then, like a geyser, there's horror. As you instantly feel this, dread, and this dread pours out of this creature into you, and you feel this dread enter you, and you feel this dread overcome your emotions. It's so strong, it's so great, it's so massive that its weight takes you, and you almost feel like you're about to bend over. And this figure just looks towards you, and this bottom jaw opens up, and you hear as it's trying to form words, and you can tell there's this passage of sound and air in its body, but it's coming through something that's not filtering right.
It's okay. Calm down. We are trying to help you. One of us can communicate through the mind. If you cannot speak, we can speak with you like that.
I want you to roll persuasion for me with disadvantage.
Am I getting any coherent thoughts from it, or is it more
A thought does come
abstract?
Please. Oh, 7.
7. About now, a thought does come up, and it's very blank. It's very forced. It's very literal, and you do understand it as words. The surface thought is... You just hear the word master. Where? What? Who? Whose hands are these? Whose hands are these? As once again they look at their hands, and there's just this grip, this strength that builds up in this hand, and you see this sparkling like blue sparkles, just sort of, it's like a sparkler just going off in the hand.
I don't think he can communicate directly out loud.
I don't know Draconic.
Is there like a language in, like when I detect thoughts? Do I just understand,
He
or
registers
is it
this
in
as
a language?
common and draconic, it seems.
Okay.
Common and draconic seems is what he's registering the thoughts as. But I will say, as you're like stumbling over these words and you're trying to think of something.
Do you speak Common? Do you understand me?
I send that
It
telepathically.
understands common.
As like they reach into their mouth and just tear out this like substance, like this sort of like disgusting black blubbery like mass of tumorous flesh, just sort of tears
Wait,
it
does
out.
this look like the stuff that we saw with the gnolls?
Kind of. It has some similarities maybe, and you do smell that almost similar smell. It's not exactly the same, but it's close. As it tears it out,
It
it
doesn't recognize itself. It's looking for its master.
and the flesh just sort of like comes out on the ground.
Please help. Try to calm it down. It can't speak right now.
All right.
Wait, does that look like the stuff? Ichel, that smells like what we had with the gnolls. Does it look like that?
Does it look like that?
It's pretty.
What about the lead knight?
I mean, you saw it just tear it out. She can't see the fact that it did that.
There's no seed, but the material inside may have been some sort of lead mixed with something else to like sedate any magical presence within it.
Okay. Okay. First off, and she like sets the book. Everyone, the book is on the ground to the side. Just letting everyone know that.
Sounds good.
She's no longer holding on to it. She goes down, like kind of like a little bit in front. Is it like sitting, kneeling? Is it like?
It's kind of like looking down at its hand, but it's standing.
Is it standing?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to like stand in front of it, just like as kind of like how our distance is, Trevor.
Yeah, gotcha.
But just like, and this is all telepathic.
It's all right. I know you're scared right now, and I know you don't know what the hell is going on, but if you take a second to calm down, we can help you figure out what is going on. I promise.
We'll go ahead and roll a new persuasion roll for me. I'm gonna say this one is not disadvantage, but the DC is something, so.
Well, it's not gonna be 13.
Oh, come on, guys!
13.
I mean, 13's not horrible, but... Okay, so as you say that, the head kind of turns up towards you, and you hear all the neck metal just sort of...
It's still little Michelle, so
Yeah.
she's just like, hi.
This dragon, who is like 6'5",
Yeah.
maybe even a little taller, this dragonborn,
Yeah, if Ichel was her normal self, it'd
Just
be
kinda-
eye, but
just kind of like looks down at you,
A
and
non-threatening child.
I'm a non-threatening child.
looks at the hand, looks at you. Where? It gets out. The word comes clear.
We're in the Draco Peaks right now. The ship crashed a long time ago.
We freed you from whatever they had you in.
Sort of stasis.
You see, like from the nose, this billowing of mist comes out. It's It's trying to like, it's almost like a revving engine as it's bringing its voice back, you know.
The current year is 1340?
It's sort of like thinking for a moment, or it's just like feeling its surroundings. Its senses, it hasn't felt in years. It's all coming to, all the senses at once. It kind of like pops the metal and it feels its neck. And you can see the joints, and you can see between the metal plates there is this like almost like tendon-like flesh with muscle, and then wiring like chainmail as well. It's like a mix of it. It looks back towards you. Who are you?
My name's Ichel.
And she's like looks to you guys. Are we saying our names?
I am Rosalie. I know a little bit of Draconic. Did you get captured by them during the war?
Not sure. He's like looking around this space, and as he moves, his tail kind of drags across the ground, and these sparks kind of fire off. And you can see the sparks fire, and they turn from red to blue instantly. They're normal red to blue. And somehow they've like combined this faucet magic with this lead plating.
Is there any sort of like magic that's coming off them, or any specific kind of schools? Or is it just no magic or pure magic?
This is the weirdest aura you've probably felt in a while, or if ever, where the magic is hovering around him but never touches him. Where it comes out of his mouth but never touches his exterior. And it's faucet magic. It's a magic that combines, it's a magic that fills, it's a magic that consumes all, it's a magic that encompasses everything. Did you guys find out what faucet is, theoretically?
Yes, it's the blood of
the machine
Blood
god.
of the machine god.
The blood of the machine god runs through his veins. And it spills out with his breath, and it covers his eyes. Who are the rest of you? Who are the rest of you?
That's Kaislin.
I'm Kaislin.
Chuck. Atana.
And Indigo.
Where's the collective? Where are they?
Gone.
Well, the majority of them have been gone for
Very
almost
long.
half a century at this point.
This figure walks over to one of the tables to lean on, but the table just sort of like bends and grips, forming a handprint where he presses down on it.
The ship that you were on, it crashed.
Like I said, a long time ago.
They kept me. They took me. My oath, my promise, my faith. It's cracked. My silver lord. Where am I?
We can try to help you find you. Who is the Silver Lord?
Who is the Silver Lord?
Yes. He's.
Yeah, take a breath. Letting your emotions get the best of you is not what's going to help in this moment.
He holds onto himself, and he reaches instinctively. He reaches for his neck or his chest, where there would be maybe a necklace, but there's none there. And he just like grips for it and doesn't find it. And he grips for his side for something that would be there, but he can't find any of these items that comfort.
Wait,
Is there anything in the room?
Okay, first off, who's the Silver Lord? And we need to know that.
For a moment, it's like maybe you think he doesn't remember, but as he thinks, his lights glow, his energy builds.
Because I want to confirm a hypothesis I have.
He thinks, and he says, "Clan Lord Suver, Dragon Lord. Where is he? Does he live? Where is he?
Does he have any other names that he might go by?
Any other names that you can think of?
He's the Lord of the Silver Clan. He goes by the names of the kingdom. He's known as Selrisian. Who is he? Where is he?
Out of character,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we know who that is. In character.
I have a thought. Trying to connect. So, I've rolled this before, and I do know it. I do know of the Silver Mage, which also is known as the Glistening Mage or the Master of Arcana. And they live in a very draconic area, and they reside in Cadrax. Does any of this connect? Like, do I think this might be an alias? First, I want to see what I think.
Maybe. The Silver Mage. Silver is often a metallic dragon term, because metallic dragons come in silver varieties. A silver dragon could call themselves Silver Mage. You're not sure?
Would the name Silvrisian mean anything to me?
Roll history. It's a flat roll.
Have I heard of it in any stories, actually?
Flat roll as well.
I know she's not interested in dragons, so I'm not going
Yeah.
for it.
That sucks.
Flat
History,
roll.
12.
11.
11. Dragons come in many crazy names. The courts of the dragons were once unified legends say under Ulfikatan Mox, the legendary king of the dragons. But in our modern age, the dragon court has fallen to pieces and the clans are separated. And they tend to be metallic or chromatic, and they tend to be separated amongst their colors, but sometimes they come together, sometimes they join, depends. The dragon life is like a sitcom, It's like a drama. Silurisian is a very draconic name.
Yes.
Silver dragons hold some station with golds, and golds tend to be the proudest of the metallics, but that's about as much as you know. They're good, kinder dragons than most people. Most people say that,
I
What?
do not know the Silver Lord, but do the names the Silver Mage, the Glistening Mage, or the Master of Arcana mean anything to you?
Also, what color were the dragons in the vision?
Blue.
The ones that were on our side, not the ones that attacked the ship.
You're talking about the vision?
Like the lady that.
Oh,
the
those
stone
those
elf.
were like wyvern drakes. They were like
yeah.
rideable small draconic creatures. These names, these people, I know something of them. I know something. Where?
At least the names that I mentioned. They are, at least from what I know, a dragon that lives in Cadrax. It's a town to the north
What
of...
children here?
Is he asking why there's children?
Yes.
Yeah.
He thinks for a moment. He looks above to the skylight.
What's he thinking?
You feel like he's estimating how far he might be from there.
I find it better estimate.
We have a map.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can go through
It's not on
towns,
here.
but we can escort you at least out of the wreckage.
No.
We
As he
have a
says
map.
that,
Do you want to look at the map?
as you say that, as he responds to you, wings just sort of come out with this blue magical faucet like liquid energy, and the wings are
geez.
dripping like almost like magma, and they just sort of come out of this
Don't
back.
leave.
Hold on for just a
Wait.
second. If you don't know what's going on with you, we could get in contact. We have magic that can get messages across.
We have contacts.
These persuasion rolls have been shit, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You now get to roll persuasion,
Okay.
and we'll see.
Please don't
How's
leave.
You could say that you're like
You're-
him.
You're like me. Please don't leave.
Just roll persuasion.
Is it still disadvantage?
Not
on
you. No,
poison?
it's Kaiser right now.
Is that a nat one?
No, it's a 2.
Oh, what about Indigo?
As you roll
No- no-
persuasion,
no advantage.
he looks over towards you. Show me your map. Show me your map.
If I remember correctly, Cadrax is not actually on this map because it's to the northwest of it.
So we oh god, where are we?
Where is Atheland?
I know he added it. Where did he put it?
Atheland. Can I get that again real quick?
Athland's right here.
Wait, Atheland.
That's where Kadrax is.
Yeah.
It's one of the draconic city-states.
Yeah, one's on the far
of the land.
left.
I'm gonna step forward and be like, please don't leave yet. I like throw off my cloak and I take my shirt off.
Yeah.
And I show my metallic torso and the window into my magical item that gives me life.
As you're doing this, the one eye seems to like focus. Like he's registering.
He's got
information.
chameleon eyes.
He's registering information beyond what would be normal for a humanoid. But he looks down towards you. His hand just sort of approaches your body. Do you do anything?
No. We might be able to help each other understand.
He's going to poke a chest piece, and you feel this cold sensation, like the faucet in his fingertip, just sort of this little static comes between you. And for this moment, you all see her like eyes glow with the blue light once more. You feel energized a bit. I will not stay, but you seek the cathedral in this vessel. There you will find the word of your creation kind. It's where they would keep it. That's where they would keep their macabre, necromantic abominations.
What about you?
He pulls his hand back, grabs at his chest. You will find others like you, but He grabs at this plate where his heart would be, like a chest piece, and he sort of like pulls at it. I think. He tugs on the side, and you hear this as it kind of loosens off. He pulls it down. And you see a magical item in his chest. And you see it's sort of like enwrapped with this figure, like this infinity symbol that binds it, but the infinity symbol is liquid faucet, just floating in mid-space.
Yours is cooler
And
than
it's just
mine.
glowing with this blue light. It's like you're looking into the Ark of the Covenant. It's this magical dagger. It's white. Looks like it's covered in symbols of draconic nature.
Is this Kavak?
And he just looks down at you.
Wait.
I must find them.
Who?
My lord. And the
What is your name?
friends.
Won't you need help?
What's your name?
So, if we see you again, what is your name? We give you ours.
It is dead now, but I would have been called the Knight of Silver, a warrior of faith, an oath sworn to the Lord of the cold wind. They called me Kavak. He looks towards you. Closes his chest.
You can't just go out on your own.
Bro, I'm actually crying.
I must find him.
Do you need me to send a message to them? It was Salirzin?
If he's alive, I'd know where he is. And I must see him. I must see them all. As he
Maybe they
takes
can
off
meet
the
you
ground,
halfway.
as you say that with your 14-year-old vision, you see him take off, and the air just sort of, the mist pushes back, and it seems like the air stretches. It seems like heat coalesces, and you feel like energy build up in the air, and you get that faucet magic sensation. And as he flies off, it's like a shooting star of blue.
Hold on, we need to take a second out of character real quick.
So this is earlier campaign character.
Yeah, this is Stuart's past character from our last campaign.
Who canonically would have died of old age by now.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought you were gone.
I thought Kabak was gonna be dead, but he's worse than dead. He's a zombie.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking made a leaded Fossick!
Oh my god, that was so cool! That was cool. I'm so sad because he's gonna go find the others because the others live
Based on
for
what-
fucking ever.
Oh my gosh. I did it again. Based on what Ryan has told me, I think I made Kabaka. What are they called? Protogen?
Yeah, you made him a
I made
protogen.
Kabaka
Oh what?
A protogen, it's a type of furry.
It's like a cyber furry
Oh.
creature. It's like a dragon
right,
machine.
Yeah. It's okay.
He was already a scaly, now he's a protogen scaly.
He was a dragonborn, and now I made him a machine dragonborn.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, fine. Just
Are
run
you
off.
furiously typing to Ryan?
No, I'm not typing to Ryan.
Look at the cathedral.
We'll wait on
The
that.
cathedral of the ship might have the
gosh.
truth you seek.
Oh, you're gonna go fucking nuts. Oh.
The war was not easy.
Oh,
Also,
I want to know what happened to everybody else now. I know. Okay, that's it.
that chair with all the vials and the needles, Kavak was on that.
Poor Kavak. No.
As the mist begins to clear
Our little guy.
and everything disappears, you can see the coffin where he once laid. There are six vials of what would have been a refined Fossick. 4 are empty. 2 are still filled. They are screwed on
big
into
are
the
they?
coffin. They're about that big.
Whoa.
They're like jars. They're like the one you found before, but like that one was a crude casing. This is like a professionally made, like they're about to inject this into a god. You know?
Oh.
Oh, I really want that Fossick.
Refined
What
Fossick's
do we-
worth a lot more than regular Fossick.
we have vials of Fossick and unrefined Fossick.
Well, what do we do now? We just
Where's the cathedral? Did anyone see that on the map?
Give me a second.
Chuck saw the map.
I think I know.
I think it was in one of the other half of the ship.
I think I know where he's going. Give me a second. Kaizen's rolling up his scroll. He's writing something down.
Are you going to try to send a message to the dragon?
Yes. Let them know that.
Bro, if you didn't roll that 28, the investigation, I don't think you would have found that. Last session was rough.
Yeah. Not fucking 20. I'll take it.
Where?
And
do I
that dispel,
remember-
that dispel you had out of roll, you would have had to have had I think a 19 plus.
That's actually pretty doable for me.
I mean, it's a D10 plus, it's a 10 plus the spell's level.
Do I remember
so.
if there was a map nearby the lab, like in the hallway?
It was a bit further back. It wasn't nearby. It was a bit further back. Chuck does speak up though. I mean, like I said, it's in the other half of the ship, but we continue on. We have to go through that auditorium like the bug lady said.
I'm gonna pick that book back up and just.
Yeah.
Heartburn.
We don't want the refined Fossick to stay here.
No.
Oh,
we take it.
hell
You
no.
can leave normal faucet because that's in the ground. This stuff is lost technology.
They had it before?
Apparently. Or maybe it was like they just discovered it.
Because the Alex Grace crashed right at the start of the second initiative.
That
at
was
the time.
before the.
So it was like days, months before.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Yeah, like it was
wasn't
the transmission.
weeks to days.
How the hells do we just put this in the bag of what do we do with it? How did we store it before?
I was going to suggest that Finn take it and put it somewhere safe until we get back to a town.
I recommended you didn't open that case. Now this is a whole bag of worms that you spilled
Yes.
around.
I mean, I don't think we did anything bad by the sounds of it,
I mean, you practically released a maniac who's out of his mind.
And he's trying to go find a silver dragon by the sounds of it, and they are not evil, if I remember
I
correctly.
mean, he looks evil.
Just because you look evil doesn't mean you are.
People always assume that.
I'm gonna put a couple of my scroll case after I finish writing something down, and kind of with one of the new spells I've been writing down, that the scroll itself has kind of helped me write the other day
Yes.
when I was talking to a shell. I'm gonna kind of begin to kind of pull the words off it and kind of tumble them in my hands. We're kind of making a little thread, so I kind of start speaking into it as I'll cast sending to the Selrizian fella.
This Silverzian fella.
So
This is so weird.
kind of. You're kind of playing telephone with the president.
We don't know what he is. There's like, I got a name. I think he might be related to the.
What if he's just dead? I'm sorry, guys. What if he's dead?
I would cry if I was dead.
Honestly, I think I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
So I would say you're not technically familiar with him, so I'm gonna make you roll.
Well, what I'm hoping is that I have his name. I have knowledge that I think I might know who he is.
Might
I
be
think
Silver Dragon.
Might be the silver mage who might be in Kadrax.
See, the fact that you're saying might means you're unfamiliar with him.
I'm unfamiliar, but I'm not completely. I have more than
I know.
his name.
That's why you're gonna roll. Normally you would roll out for an out of plane check. We're still gonna we're gonna increase that percentage a little bit. So go ahead and roll D100.
Below the wrong D100s.
Oh goddamn.
Within these last
We
two
know what
sessions,
happens
I've rolled
when
like
you roll
11.
100s.
79.
79. First off, each of you get a point of inspiration.
I already had inspiration.
Oh, should I use it?
I just used it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, like the Alex Grace is just like moment after moment after moment. And sometimes it doesn't work. You guys passed some other stuff. You know, this one was.
We might go back.
No, you won't.
We might go back.
Okay. Anyways, it's just like statistically what you'll run into, and like there's so much to see. It's like you can't run
I'm
into
so glad we
everything.
ran into Kavak, guys.
Yeah. Oh God.
I've been leaking information about him for like the entire 30 episodes.
Yeah, like I've been sitting here. I've been almost positive that the glistening mage was Silurizian, and that Kavak was either there or is already dead. But the town was named Kadrax. And I'm like,
You're right.
I've been thinking this the entire time, but I'm like, I'm gonna keep this quiet. And I'm like, this might be the same one. The Silver
Wait,
Lord.
what are the chances of the
So,
thing?
what do you say?
Kaislin is small, but he's also a little frazzled. Hi, I'm Kaislin. We just met a dragonborn named Kavak, trapped on Alex Grace. They're led now. Is that 3 words left or
It's 8 words.
8 words remaining?
Whoever's on the other receiving
They
end of
are
this.
seeking you out. We're not. I'm actually gonna get rid of the I and say, don't know more.
Okay. I mean, don't know.
Okay. It's funnier if you can't get rid of stuff.
Yeah, fair.
For a second, you're not sure it goes through. Then you hear a voice in your mind. A voice that sounds heavy with just a presence. A little bit fearful. It makes you pee a little bit. No, I'm kidding. No, it does. No. Your 14-year-old shuddered self, you were like, oh no.
Either
Just a wee bit.
Either it frightens me,
A wee bit,
or or just makes you feel excited, because 14-year-olds are weird. Sometimes they have no fear.
Yeah. You hear... What? That's it.
What?
Just the word, what?
Just, oh.
Someone
Guys,
received your message.
Did you like get a response?
It'd be funny if that wasn't sorry.
I got the single word.
It's just some guy named the Silver Mage.
Yeah. There was some serious shock.
You know.
I got a single word. They said what?
Okay,
Really
they
confused?
wasted the entire other part of the sending.
I mean, hey, if you're in shock, yeah, I know that's a fair response for Rosen.
Yeah, he's been probably missing
I mean,
for
if-
decades. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm gonna cast Sending to Kavak.
Oh yeah.
Sending to Kavak.
Bruh, he's lead lined. Is that gonna work?
I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Why did you just run away if you would sit down for 2 minutes and stop being dramatic or whatever? Where do you even think you're going? I don't know how many words that was.
It was definitely less than 25.
Yeah.
Go ahead. and roll
Technology
a
has
D100 for me.
advanced, dude. You're gonna hit an
You're
airplane.
familiar with him? I'm gonna say there technically is.
I looked at him.
I know you're familiar with him. He is magically insensitive in some
Yeah.
cases, or like he can block you out very easily.
39.
39. You send your message and you feel like it's sent, but then you feel this like fuzz in the air, and then all of a sudden you hear, "I don't care, don't contact me," and then you just feel this like thump. Like it's like a mental message. So like volume control is kind of weird sometimes. There's a lot of like frustration, emotional like rage in it. So it's like a slap.
Well, I might, after a while, hear something back from this dragon I sent to? They have
That
my...
was even the dragon.
I'm assuming so?
Well, now it's our problem.
I mean, he is a mage of a college. I mean, I think he is.
Who's a mage?
Maybe somebody knows.
The Silurian? I'm guessing.
I mean, it's a dragon. Yeah, it's definitely a mage.
Yeah, he can send him back.
If anything happens, I guess there we go.
Hey, you made a new friend.
Well, now
I guess
what? Well, I guess we need to go to the thing. Indigo, how are you doing?
She's probably shivering now because her shirt is off.
Cute.
Brr.
Oh, right.
Oh my god, she's topless in the Elks Grace.
Stupid.
Maybe once he gets in contact with his
He's
lord.
probably just gonna like die out there.
Like, he doesn't. His body might just fail. He didn't have time to.
And if he just flies across so willy-nilly, now he's gonna strike fear in the hearts of so many. Because now people are gonna think...
Oh, the Harrigan are all gonna drop dead when they see him.
Well, I really don't think he's going to be going that direction. The only one that they might pass over is maybe like the town that's slightly north of the
Point is,
Argonaut.
he's a weird experiment that was just woken up, doesn't know how he works, just flew off into the cold
And not to
without
mention...
direction.
Not to mention the world has changed. There's things that probably exist or don't exist now.
He doesn't have a cell phone.
Like, he doesn't have a cell phone, Indigo. Nobody can contact. No one can contact him on iMessage.
Trevor, quick question. There's Fossick in his veins. Is it refined Fossick or regular?
Probably you're fine.
Sounds like you need to wake up from your dream. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Probably
Wake
fine,
up.
considering.
I have four
There
back
are
of it.
4 vials that are empty.
Yeah.
That would have been refined Fossick. There are 2 vials left of refined Fossick in the coffin, so it's probably refined Fossick.
I was mean, like, with detect magic, would it look like refined Fossick?
Oh, I mean, like it was like mixed in with that magic and that god divinity stuff. So you have no idea.
If there's a chance there's refined Fossick flowing through his veins, if he crashes, or if he shuts down, that's
Okay,
That's such a big explosion.
he is flying there, but we alerted his friends. His friend now knows. Maybe he's not talking to you because he's trying to get in contact with the Buck himself.
You don't understand
Maybe.
how dangerous you are right now. You have refined Fossick in you. You
Wait, no,
could
no, no.
explode.
I actually just realized you're casting Sending on something with refined Fossick.
Well, sure, did it once.
I sure did it once. It was fine.
Just come back and let us help.
Oh, did she just cause him to explode?
We all hear.
Don't contact me.
Are you the remote that's sending the message?
Well, that's
I'm actually debating now.
That's why the
If
Choco peaks are irradiated now.
Kaizen
The
realizes
box
this
blew up.
actually,
Oh my
I might actually counterspell this.
So
Oh, we sure
it's up.
did
She whistled. She casted a spell. So you have a split second. 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna counterspell it.
Okay. So
Hustling.
so yeah.
He's might be made of a refined Fossick. You're sending a magic message to him. That you might have got lucky the first time. We should not risk that again. I just had that realization. I'm sorry.
Again, the
But
Lord.
he's contained with lead, though.
He still has. The magic still surrounds him. It was pouring out of him. It surrounded his every being.
Can you send another sending to the Lord to let him know that there is refined Fossick on him?
We're not even sure if that was him, though. If we just tell some rando that there's, like, not just this guy flying around, but that he has refined Fossick in him, then that's, like, a recipe for disaster.
Okay, but who's gonna believe some random person in the middle of nowhere that just got a voice coming to them being like, oh, there's a
I also sound
flying
like
dragon monster.
I also sound like a child. They might think it's a prank.
Prank?
You are a child!
Why don't you just let it be for a little bit.
Can I?
I mean,
I actually agree with Finn.
the emotions are really high right now, and if that was a celestial, that's a powerful magical creature on the loose, a dragon could deal with it better than you. And now that they're conscious about it, maybe they'll do with
While
it.
everybody's chatting,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Can I stealth cast
Ooh,
Cindy?
go ahead and roll stealth. This is so stupid because we're like, yeah, you blow a flute, but you're blowing it quietly.
Well, I imagine she can just hold the focus and like.
You
hum
sing
under
you
her
sing it
breath.
with like
can,
what is it,
yeah.
overtones?
Yeah.
Like the throat singing that you can actually create like a
Yeah, it's
a
true.
rhythm in the like hum.
What are you
Jeez.
doing? I
I'm
swear to
doing
God.
Stealth with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, you're still playing.
Oh my god.
Please don't blow him up.
13.
Beats my
I guess
passive.
Rosalie probably heard it. I don't remember what you're.
Oh, it's higher than that.
Yeah.
I heard it.
So
They didn't.
you start.
Does Rosalie say anything?
Rosalie's gonna like glare at you and just be
I don't
like,
care. I say the same things that I said the first time that I didn't get to say. Something, you're dangerous, come back.
Roll D100 for me.
Is this D100?
You guys see a bright light.
97.
Counterspell. No, I'm kidding. I have counterspell, but I'm
You
not
didn't
using
hear.
it. I didn't hear it.
I will say you don't get a message back. He is putting you on hold.
Did it go through?
You think so?
Okay.
It's just you keep on trying, but I mean we've already rolled. He has a one-track mind right now.
Gonna strangle
Indigo,
you.
I don't.
she already wasted the spell.
You what? I just told you he's made that refined fossick!
He's fine.
There might been a chance. What if something had happened?
All right. How? You know
Both
what?
of you, calm down.
I can cast magic, it's fine.
I'm about to ban you from magic.
Are you about to banish her?
Yo, you gonna banish me?
I cast banishment.
Counterspell. No.
Okay.
Counterspell.
Oh my god. Ichel's gonna turn back to her adult form.
Yeah.
At this
But
point,
can you switch back to part?
the
Yeah.
first one.
Just. All right. Both of you need to calm down. I understand your concerns, and I also understand your concerns. But right now, one, it probably isn't a good idea to message him, not just because of that, but because his emotions are more volatile than Kaislin's right now. Okay?
Hey!
He has a one-track mind. If us arguing with him this entire time, right, is not going to get to him right now in this moment. He just woke up after a 60, 70, whatever slumber. If he's not going to listen to any of us right now, he's not going to do it at all. Let him do what he thinks is best, and then we can maybe contact him later.
Can I see the book?
Book?
There's a lot of notes that we have here.
What? No, you said the book. What book do you have?
I'm going to the page that was open
Yeah.
about.
Quick question, Trevor, really quick.
You want to roll Arcana?
Sure, with disadvantage.
I'm also gonna. Well, actually, I do want to look
You
at
have to
this.
read the book to roll Arcana.
Can I point to like stuff for her
With my +1.
and take away that disadvantage?
Sure.
Yay!
Yeah. Since you've got some information, I'll allow it.
I'm poisoned right now, it's the worst. 19, thank you.
19.
Rosalie's coming over to you guys now. Like, what book are you
I'm
talking
coming
about?
over. I'm like trying to like.
Everyone.
It's a bunch of notes on what happened here.
I'm gonna like try to put my hand like on the back of the book to help.
Rosalie starts ritual casting comprehend languages.
Before all that.
Okay, it's in
Indigo,
common.
What's your
She
read?
can't read.
Oh, right.
she has to convert it to Braille.
Well, I'm not
before
gonna
you
see the book.
before everyone else does anything, you start understanding what you're reading even more than what Echelle understood. And you don't think it's just because you've got a good jump start on this book. You think it's because you're familiar with this book. You think it's because you think Andrix had this book.
I figured.
And at this section you're reading over, the term grafting comes up. It's It's a process with carnomancy, with necromancy, with transmutation. This creation of a being from one being. The notes detail control methods, transmutation of the flesh, additions of new material, rejection of the body rejecting certain aspects, adding more to it. You understand this. You understand it to a point where you can put it into practice. This grafting process.
Like, this is knowledge I already had that I'm, like, unlocking.
Now you understand it to a point where you think you could practice it. But as you understand more, you dive deeper, it becomes more evident to you that this book contains so much more than just that. It contains the theoretical knowledge that has clearly been proven by the second initiative, as this was written just before the second initiative. Now it's just proven material. This is part of the instructions on how to make a celestial. This is the three angels, these converts, these converted emissaries of the collective. This is part of the process of how they were made. Taking something that existed and remaking it into something new. Alec is an angel of the collective. Alec's Grace is its namesake. This could tell you how these people are made, how these angels, these emissaries are made, but even just how you were made, because it's almost the same steps. Would you like to know more, though? Because you're not grasping everything yet.
And slam it shut. I'm disgusting.
That's no, you're not.
Just go.
At this point, has the ritual gone off?
Yes.
Okay. She touches the book to read what the name
Did you
of
change
it
that
is.
part of the back? You don't know which is which.
Well, she can get it's right on
She
the
just-
side.
Yeah, she just basically like puts her hand on it.
I'll tell you this. She definitely has the name of the book.
I'm an abomination, just like he is.
You're not an abomination. It is not your fault for what you became and who made you.
I shouldn't exist.
Indigo, you didn't ask to be born or made.
It doesn't mean I should.
It doesn't mean you should think things like that. You're here now. It's what you do with the gift of existence that matters. Whatever this is, you're not like that.
I understand it. Why do I
Look.
understand it?
Have you seen it before?
It is me.
You are a necromantic, transmutative creature, machine, from what you understand. Created with magic that comes from the spirits, and the magic that comes from the machine.
Maybe the tea imbued some of that knowledge into you. That's, again, not your fault. Why did you have this book?
I didn't have it on me. Got
It
taken
was
away.
in the safe. I held on to it.
What?
Do you really want to know why?
Why do any of us have that? It's such. Those books are banned for a reason.
It has horrible information in it, yes, but I don't think it should just sit here and rot.
Magic is not good nor bad, it's just how you use
It's
it.
how it's used.
Hendrix had that book.
Well,
If it
now
has,
we have it.
if it has a bunch of notes from the collective, it might actually be a smart idea to give it over to the authorities, because the fact that might be able to crack some of the issues that people had with the metallurgic collective in the past.
There are people that the authorities already have the books. There's
Not
things-
one with notes in it.
What makes you think they'd do anything?
What else are we supposed to do with it? Hold on to it for the rest of the time? Because we don't want that to fall into any of
This
the
affects all of us. We keep running into the Metallurgic Collective. This has answers to
This has notes on things about
they can
her.
help.
About things about magic that we keep coming across and maybe don't understand, but with this knowledge, we could figure it out.
The magic in there is not inherently evil. It's how it was used. It was banned because it was how it was used during the war. We are gonna keep running into these weird, mysterious, magical bullshit all the time. I'd rather have something that can help us get through it.
Whatever. I'm not going to listen to reason.
I have something to say.
Oh, now the talking cat's going to preach to us.
Well, never mind. It could be useful. But now I want you to ask me.
Please tell us what you're thinking, my
Yes,
darling.
ma'am.
Thank you.
He walks over to the coffin and he unscrews one of the refined faucet canisters. Takes it off. The Metallurgic Collective found strange magic, and they used it to kill people and conquer, but they found strange magic. They didn't make it. But the person that made, looks to Indigo, this one probably had bad intentions, but you're not working for them. So it's up to you if you want to be bad. Like, he looks towards Chuck. You can be labeled abomination all you want, but take it from someone who's been in the hells. You can work your way out of damnation. So he'll go over towards you, Indigo. Do you not want to be an abomination? That's a question.
What does that mean?
It needs her answer.
I just am. It doesn't matter.
But do you want to be?
No.
I don't want to be a devil for the rest of my second life. And he'll hold out the canister of Fossick, the refined Fossick. I know how to help you.
What?
And I will share it with you. Because I can feel that you want to be better. As do I. This isn't a deal. We're friends now. Do you take the canister of Fossick he's holding out? Just hold on to it. Think about it.
I don't understand.
And you won't until you go to that cathedral and read every damn scroll they have hidden in their back room.
Do you understand?
More than I was originally willing to share.
In your past life,
Who are you?
were you on the ship?
He just hands the canister to you. Puts it in your hand. You could feel it hum. You can feel it sweet. Capri Sun, not sponsored. You can feel it, and it's so precious in your hand. Your body has this instinctual, uppity sense to it. You feel almost relieved, any sort of like minor ailment and pain as you hold it, like it's ambrosia.
Do I lose the poison condition?
No.
Damn!
I will tell you that soon. But I do have a history with these people. We'll cut it there for today, because we're running out of time. But catch you in the next stream. Remember, no matter the outcome, always let the dice roll.
Oh.
Can't believe you guys found Kavak finally.
Oh my god.